It is Tuesday, January 20th. I'll call this meeting of the Madison Board of Selectmen to order. First order of business be the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We have approval of non-public meeting minutes from December 23rd. Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Jim,
A second.
second by Jake. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, that was two meetings ago, right?
Yeah, it should be the
Yes,
first
okay.
set. And
Just checking,
First set.
just checking.
Joy, I just in case.
Aye. Right. Approval of the minutes from, oh, they're out of order here, hold on 1 second. The regular meeting minutes from January 6th.
That was the last meeting 2 weeks ago, correct?
Yep.
I did not see any mention, I think it was at the 30-minute mark, so I rewatched it to make sure I wasn't missing something. I think it was between, when Sharon Schilling and there was somebody else in the audience mentioned about, the investigation for non-public, for private use of public equipment, having an answer at the next meeting, and that was nowhere in the body of the minutes. And it was kind of a little bit of a lengthier discussion than, so I didn't see I didn't see that mentioned in there, and so I would like that added.
Do you wanna add some edits, or?
Well, I just wanted, mentioned that during, it wasn't even during public comment that I recall, it came up after that. And it's just basically that two people, I don't know if we re-roll tape, mentioned, and the board seemed to agree that we would be doing an investigation and have answers at the next meeting, which was 1 month from January 6th. And the 1 month was mentioned in those comments.
Okay. Well, if we're gonna put them in there, we need a name. Do you mind looking at the video and see if you can get the name of the person and add that, and we'll approve these at our next meeting?
Thank
Adam,
you.
can you speak up, please?
Yep. Linda's gonna get the name of the person who asked that and add it to the minutes. We'll approve them at the next meeting. Alright. There are 2 other sets of non-public from January 6th. Can either approve them as a unit or separately.
Can we make a motion to approve both?
Motion by Jim to approve both sets of non-public from January 6th.
I'll second it.
Second by Jake. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, we have 2 manifests. This will be the last meeting with 2 manifests, so. Manifest from December 31st, 2025, cleaning up accounts payable is $88,633.78. Have a motion.
I'll motion.
Motion by Jim,
Second.
second by Jake. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No,
Aye.
I didn't get a chance to
Was
look at
this,
them.
not the manifest that's up there now?
It's part of it,
I did the one up there, so I'm good with that, yeah.
so. We have 4
Ayes.
4 to 1.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like it.
Alright, second manifest is from January 20th to January 26th, payroll $44,502.47. Payroll liabilities $13,133.22, accounts payable $32,620.13. New Hampshire State Retirement $27,279.38, and $325,000 to the elementary school, for a total of $442,535.20. Have a motion?
I'd like a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Jake, second by Jim, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
No.
4-1. Public comment.
Mr. Shackford.
Mr. Shackford, state your name for the camera, please.
My name is Jesse Shackford third generation resident claimed in Madison, New Hampshire. My grandfather came here in 1910. We did first of all, it was Sharon Schilling and David Scarborough who made a question about the upcoming events and the investigation. And that's one of the things that I hope is addressed tonight is how is the investigation going? Is there going to be extra meetings other than selectmen's meetings? Is there going to be taxpayer input? Does it have to be taxpayer groups that get together outside of this particular offices? But going back, we used to do a betterment job in Madison every year because the town had 2 dump trucks and an old bulldozer. We had the equipment, so every year the town would hire us to go and do their work. We also had a grader that the road agent would rent. I've seen such a bad inflection and bad downturn in the road work, and I hope that this gets addressed by committee or somehow down the road. Thank you.
Other public comment. Joe, just state your name for the camera.
Hi, my name is Joe Dan, 110 Woodland Road. I'm also on the Madison Advisory Budget Committee. And that's what I'm here just to give you a brief overview. At the last Budget Committee meeting, Mr. Booby was there, I proposed a budget increase of no more than 2.8%. And right now it's at 6.6%, which I feel, and I believe other board members feel, is too high. The reason I proposed that is a maximum was, you know, the COLA this year for our seniors in town is 2.8%. You know, average social security income is about $2,000 a month. So they're getting a $56 a month increase. It's not enough to keep up with inflation, cost of fuel, type of thing. In addition, the Medicare Plan B cost is going up $17.90 a month. So 1/3 of their monthly increase is being taken back by the government to cover the Medicare increase. So they're getting $36 a month. And so the effective COLA is about 1.9% after those deductions. So we had discussed capping the budget at 2.8%, which would mean about $135,000 reduction from the current 6.6%. And I think we can probably do a little better than that. Based on, you know, the 1.9% effective COLA, we should shoot for that range. And I just wanted to give you guys the rationale of where the 2.8 came from, where the 1.9, and why I was proposing that as a maximum increase on our budget this year.
Thank you.
Other public comment. Sharon?
Sharon Schilling, Bickford Road, Madison. I'm going to read a statement. It says, after the last Board of Selectmen meeting, I've been thinking about this topic and the various reactions from the board. The topic is the personal use of public property. Whether or not personal use of taxpayer-owned and funded property is prohibited should never have been a question. Municipal budget law, the New Hampshire Constitution, basic risk management, and plain common sense says it's wrong. Our own town policy clearly indicated that there was a process for removing town property from town grounds for town work. It has never been permissible to remove or use town property for personal use. For 2 selectmen to have not understood this fact displays a lack of understanding of the law and complete disregard for the taxpayer funds collected by the town. To try to justify the use of town property by saying, let's take the vehicles out of this, there were no public funds used, also displays a fundamental lack of understanding regarding taxpayer funds and municipal property. The focus on liability and specifically suggested that personal use was okay if a waiver process could be developed is flawed. There are several hundred views of the Mad TV recording of the December 9th meeting. That was the meeting when Selectmen Price and Bowie defended the personal use of taxpayer property as a reasonable perk. Then, when presented with a review by a town lawyer, delivered by a fellow select board colleague, you rejected it as if you didn't trust them, saying you had to see it in writing directly from the town lawyer, wasting additional taxpayer money. The record is clear. You saw nothing wrong with personal use, you defended the practice as a reasonable perk of the job, and all that was needed was a waiver process to deal with the liability issues. You only agreed to end it because of pressure and when confronted with the actual law. In light of these issues and the desire to move forward with resolving any additional instances of personal use, it's clear you're unable to be objective. As a taxpayer, I want to be able to trust that the process being used will be transparent and objective and that we'll get the answers we deserve. Selectman Price and Selectman Bowie should step back from any process or decision-making regarding personal use and let the three colleagues handle it. This issue will not go away until taxpayers trust that they have clarity on what happened. Will you recuse yourselves, yes or no?
So, my opinion, I'd like to let Primex handle the investigation as a third-party organization, recuse the board from the investigation altogether so that there's no question that it's objective. And that's my answer. You state your name for the camera.
Paul McKenna. Who is Primex?
Our insurance company.
Okay. Your insurance company?
They offer a third-party investigation service or have companies
That
connected
we'll have to pay for.
that they will potentially cover. We're gonna look into it. I had one more in the back, Jesse, hold on, I
Yeah.
think I had somebody behind you.
That was my question.
Okay, Jesse,
Yeah, I think the big thing that's not being talked about is when is this investigation gonna come before people who have knowledge of the situation over the past, well, in my case, 30 years. Some of it's definitely not material, but it shows a trend that is totally unacceptable. And I think, the room is full, I think the town needs accountability across the board, and I don't know if we need commissioners or what, but somebody's not watching the ball. And so it's gotta change.
any other public comment?
Different subject.
Yep. State your name for the camera, please.
I'm Brian Taylor of Freedom. I'm also a state representative of Carroll County District 8, which includes Madison. And there's a bill coming before the House and going to committees this session that addresses conflicts of interest by appointed officials and elected officials. And I think it's an overreach. It's been brought to the attention of the New Hampshire Municipal Association. A gentleman named Brody is looking at it. Jonathan Smith of Ossipee and I have both been in contact with them. I'd like to leave you copies of the original bill, if I may, for your review, because here in Madison, you have a elected official who is also an appointed fire chief. I think you all know what I'm talking about. And I know in the town of Freedom, we've had to eliminate a commission because you just couldn't get enough volunteers. So this doesn't work for small towns, it's small leach, and they're trying to get into the nitpicking area. So if you have any thoughts or concerns, please express them to anybody you know, plus the New Hampshire Municipal Association. Can I give you the copies?
Absolutely. Thank you.
I don't have any answers. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you, buddy.
Do you have the bill number?
There's only a couple.
The number of
Oh,
it?
488, House Bill 488, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Just so you know who I am.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming in.
See you, Brian.
Your state your name for the camera, please.
Dave Scarborough, 199 Caroline Road. I'd like to request that the investigation into personal use be put on the agenda for as old news and gets discussed at every meeting and we get an update at every meeting. I'd also request that we get a better understanding of exactly who this company is that's going to do the investigation and how it's going to go.
We don't know that
And how
yet,
long it's
but
going to take.
once we know who and how long, we will share it.
Will you add it to the agenda?
Yes, it stays in old business until it's dealt with. I believe it's on there. Yep, it's on there now, and it'll remain there until it's dealt with.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other public comment? Seeing no more public comment, we will move on. Discussion items and new business. First piece of business is a pilot with David Smolin of Silver Lake Landing. This is a payment in lieu of taxes. We have this. He's here.
I am. I figured I should show up. My name was on the agenda.
Oh, just trying to refresh myself. We went from 10 to 7.5%. That's the gist of the whole thing, and
Pretty much,
everybody's
yeah.
in agreement with that.
Was there any other wording changes?
I don't believe so. I believe the agreement remained the same other than the percentage, but.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you had luck with any of the block grants or?
Well, we haven't pursued that yet, but one thing we are looking into right now is AARP has what they call a challenge grant, and so we're looking into a grant in the amount of 12 to 15,000 to hire an engineer to come into the building and look at the Anderson's space and see what we can do in terms of options for turning it into 2 units. So we're pursuing that. And then, once we have that information, we can then, move the ball further down the field in terms of potential future grants and whatnot.
Thank you.
So that would bring the Silver Lake up to 21 units potentially from 19.
Just out of curiosity, how long was your wait list?
Oh, long.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably, gosh, I bet you there's over 50 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did have someone who, we had someone who was from Keene and they wanted to use the apartment like a second home. We told them no. We actually changed our policy just to, we never got a request like that before. It was
What
like,
if you can do it, I guess?
yeah, but, yeah, it's long, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, housing is so difficult right now. And I just wanna say thank you so much, we really are grateful, and, it is run on a shoestring, so every penny counts, so thank you so much, we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay?
We need a motion to agree to this
I'll make a motion
and sign it.
to approve the agreement.
Motion by Joy,
I'll second it.
second by Jim. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you have a clean copy, Linda?
I do.
Have a clean copy and signature items?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Historical Society, request for payment of invoices from ETF. Roof, chimney, framing, insulate, and patch the roof. Is this the only one?
There's 2 there. I think Nancy's here, she might be able to explain.
She is here. Hi, Nancy. Do you wanna just give us a brief overview of what we're signing off on? If you don't mind.
They're qualifying here.
Oh, the other one's right there. Yep.
Go ahead, repeat it, sorry.
Say it again?
Say,
You're
you
good.
say it again.
Oh, Nancy Martin, Madison Historical Society. We did a lot of work on the interior of the building this year. We had, the outside was painted by the generosity of the town and the roof as well. Some of the work that we had done was electrical. We had a couple of outlets added, and we had a couple of outlets upgraded to three-prong. Vacuum. And what we discovered, we were already in the process of this work when the electrician discovered, I wanna say it's tube, something in tube.
Knob and tube.
Knob and tube, so there's knob and tube connected to other
Romex.
pieces and whatever was going on. He's like, well, I'm not gonna be working with this stuff, so we said, just make the whole thing great, let's upgrade it and make it all to code. Wouldn't want the building to burn down and all of our artifacts and historical stuff. So that's one piece of it, that's the electrical piece on that invoice. And the other was, there was two chimneys, one was attached to the furnace, I don't know what year that was, a long time ago. Furnace is no longer there, so the chimney hasn't been used for many years. And we also have a chimney in the kitchen for the Glenwood stove. We wanted to have that work done so we could have a little holiday fire in there, which we did, which was wonderful. So he came and patched that, did what he needed to do to that one, which we paid for. While he was on the roof, realizing, checking the, while the painter was on the roof, painting, he happened to brush against the old chimney and it was falling apart. So we asked the mason to look at that chimney. When he did, you could just lift the pieces off the top of it. So we felt it would be important if he took that down to the roof, insulate it, patch the roof, and so that chimney is still usable from there up if we ever decide to put a furnace back in there. But as far as safety reasons, for both of these invoices was not having bricks fall down off on people or that, or set the building on fire, so that's the explanation.
Thank you. Seems reasonable.
Seems reasonable.
And so this is to come from the ETF?
Yeah, do we
Yeah,
have,
I didn't, I was one, the trustees don't meet till mid-next month, so I'd have the paperwork for you at your next meeting to sign if you're okay with me processing these.
I think we're all good. I don't have a total in front of me, so unless I can do some quick math.
So these invoices were already paid for.
And
Okay,
if I could get something from the Historical Society that shows they, like the canceled check to show they were paid, because I have to prove to the trustees that these were actually paid before they can reimburse. So, if that would be all right, even if you email it would be fine, I can put that
looks like
together.
Sure.
There's $15,093 left in the Historical Society Building Improvement ETF. So this total of this is, doing the math, about 9-ish? No,
no,
Six.
6,300,
Seven,
I think, roughly 6,350-ish.
okay. So plenty of, more than covers it.
Process a green sheet for our next meeting. Everybody's on board with that? Yeah?
Yep.
Yep,
Does that work? Perfect. All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
There's a volunteer appointment in your packets. Jake, if you could lead the train.
Want me to read this?
You don't have to read the whole thing, but.
So it's volunteer statement for Jessica Marquise to perform volunteer services, I assume for the rec department? Is that what this is for? Yes, for the recreation department, so hereby recognized as a volunteer to be of the town of Madison for the purpose of participating in the recreation department. Tenure will be a volunteer, will continue into your resignation or your termination by the town or the end of project, whichever comes first, so.
I don't think Heather's here to speak to
No,
it.
but I asked her specifically and she was okay with.
Did this come directly to town and not through rec, is that?
It came, right, it came directly to our office and I checked with Heather.
Okay, I think, it just, the only difference between them and any other appointment has just been that it came directly here instead of through Heather, and was that,
I don't wanna get involved in the conversation. I think Heather dropped it off.
okay, I just didn't think we usually
I-
had,
Did Heather drop it off? Or did the volunteer drop it off?
Good question. It wasn't Heather that dropped it off, because I made a copy of it and put it in Heather's box to ask her if it was okay.
I don't recall. I'm aware of it, but I'm trying to stay out of the conversation for obvious reasons.
I don't know what those reasons are, so it's not obvious to me.
That's my girlfriend.
Oh, well then, now it's obvious, thank you.
Pretty obvious.
That just turned
Sounds news to me.
I'm just trying to stay out of it.
I guess I was the only one that knew the reason.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't like.
Alright, I mean, usually these don't kinda come through us, they're just usually a signature item, so I just,
If you want me to, I can give you the backstory.
that's why it's coming through us?
Yes.
Okay.
Heather was looking for help during the vacation fund days.
Yeah,
She offered to help.
okay,
I told her she couldn't. Because she wasn't a volunteer, and if she wanted to be a volunteer, she had to ask Heather and get the form.
okay, so she'll be background checked and whatever,
Yeah, process,
okay.
same as everybody else.
Okay, yeah, I was just confused as to why, we don't usually get them, I don't think.
No, we
Yeah.
had
In a- as an
counselors
agenda
call
meeting.
out during the vacation fund days, and Heather needed help and didn't have any.
Alright.
It's not a stipend, it's just a volunteer basis, no money. But you need a vote to approve it.
We don't have a requirement that they have to be a resident, do we?
I don't
As a
think
volunteer.
so, as a volunteer.
I didn't think so either, because I think we've had coaches from out of town.
Right,
So we need a vote to approve that?
need a
Alright,
motion.
I'll make a motion to approve her as a volunteer, pending background and
Second.
process.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And I will abstain.
401.
Don't hide that.
All right.
That's gotta go in the basket.
Is this the original?
No,
Oh, it isn't?
I think, do you have a clean copy of that?
I
I
do.
thought that was
Here's
the
a clean
original,
copy of
sorry.
that.
It looks like the original.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't wanna get lost.
Which was that?
Support for Albany regarding New Hampshire's Route 16 and 113 intersection. This is just another ask from Albany for us to sign a letter of support regarding the engineering and potential change of the intersection at Route 116, or Route 16 and 113. They're meeting
Next week, their administrative assistant called me this morning and asked if there was any way that I could get another letter before you guys.
Now, is
We-
this, go ahead.
I'm just saying, we sent one before, this is essentially just a dumbed down version of the same support we gave last time, other than this is specific to that intersection.
And this is just us supporting them addressing the
Yes.
safety of it, and there's no specific proposals on how to address it. This is just our supporting them looking into addressing the safety of the intersection.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions? I have a motion to sign the letter of support.
Hold on, it says we strongly urge you to consider these proposals for inclusion in safety improvements. So it just, we're really not talking about any specific proposals?
Any questions?
Yeah, that, I used the old letter that had more than one proposal in it.
Yeah, the old letter we signed had a number of
That and the
proposals.
one down by Town Hall Road or something, down by Town Hall, was that one of the ones too? Oh,
Yes.
that old one,
I can fix it.
Give her the
Maybe you
S.
can-
Yeah, it looks like there's an S in the first paragraph too.
Oh, yeah, project proposals.
Alright, so that being the case,
Fix it and maybe you guys can sign it upstairs when you do your non-public.
yeah, do I have a motion to sign it with that sentence and that letter amended?
It, I really don't mean to be a pain.
No, no.
it just sounds like they have, the way it reads is it sounds like they have a specific proposal that they're looking for us to support.
They didn't write this letter.
Okay,
This was the letter that we wrote last time.
okay,
So we just grabbed it again and changed the verbiage to just that intersection. So we've already signed it with those proposals.
Because of the safety and the
Right.
issues on that, and it was gonna get pushed off by the state, wasn't that it?
Yeah, it got
Originally,
knocked off the top 10
It was getting knocked
or
off
whatever.
the list,
Yeah.
and so we were trying to bring it back on the list.
So
I
this is,
remember right, they were told they were gonna get it, they didn't show up at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Somebody else talked them out of getting it.
because the things that they have proposed is flattening the hill as you're on 113 taking right or left onto 16 at Coleman's. They've talked about
16.
flattening the hill, they've talked about moving 113 down
Yeah, I think so.
further.
It's like a square four-way intersection with the road across the street.
You're right, and
Yeah.
doing that, yeah, that was like a third thing.
Probably a roundabout in there too, somewhere.
They were talking about doing a
We need more of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're lots further up
Alright.
than 16.
so yeah,
but
this,
nothing has been agreed on, no,
no,
No.
this
Okay.
letter is, the verbiage is the same outside of, it's specific to that intersection.
okay. And we're just, yeah, so there is no specific plan that they have, no specific proposal,
was
okay, we're gonna
multiple.
flatten.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanna make sure, thank you.
I also sent a copy of it over to their assistant to ask her if this would be, if this would suffice, and she said it was fine.
Okay,
Right, so was there an S that we needed to remove?
There's one in the first paragraph.
2 in the second.
Okay, so, do we have a motion to sign it with the S's amended?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Motion by Joy,
I'll second.
second by Jim, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now, do I have a motion to sign it out of session so that Linda can edit it and we'll sign it later tonight?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by
Second
Jim,
that.
second by Jake, all those in favor?
Aye.
Right. So we have an updated version of the personnel policy recommended by town council,
It's the town of Madison property.
town of Madison property, yes. The added language to the current policy would be, if voted on, personal use of town of Madison property is prohibited except for incidental use. Incidental use means brief occasional personal use during the course of authorized official use that does not detract from the employee's work obligations or result in additional expense to the town, such as checking personal email from a town-owned computer while on a permitted break, or stopping to perform a personal errand while driving to or from work in a town-owned vehicle. It does not include any use outside of working or commuting hours unless specifically authorized by the department head. Under no circumstances may town property be removed from the town's premises solely for personal use.
I don't love it, I don't hate it. I just don't think the incidental use has to be in there, but I can live with it.
Whereas up above, it says authorization of the department head and notification to the Board of Selectmen. I think it should repeat that as well, rather than authorized by the department head and notification to the Board of Selectmen. And just thinking about it now, I don't know if it's appropriate at this point, for at least a while, to have that authorization by the Board of Selectmen. Remove the authorization of the department head and have it authorized directly by the Board of Selectmen again, as it was prior to 2022.
So Joy's recommendation is to strike department head and put in Board of Selectmen. Any other comments on that?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it, actually.
that's absolutely right, yeah.
And then the last sentence, under no circumstances may the town property, or may town property be removed from the town's premises solely for personal use. I don't like the word solely,
I don't either.
because it makes it seem like you can use it for work, and then you can use it for personal use. It just seems contradictory to the first sentence. I honestly, I've just
Just get rid of
strike
solely.
solely.
So, yeah.
Strike solely.
Just get rid of solely. That solves that.
Did you catch that, Linda?
I did.
So, if we're good with it, then it can make those two updates and we can vote to update the policy at our next meeting?
Sure.
Good?
Yep.
Thank you, Linda. Purchasing policy changes. Joey, you were gonna take our edits.
It was, I did, I started to, and then I realized that we had redlined a lot that everyone was fine with, and the changes to it were just minor. But then as I'm going through and trying to sort track changes and red lines, I'm like, this is not just like really quick, just little add-ins, cause the changes we made to the table were minor.
Yeah.
But then, like,
Everything.
just document management wise, it was gonna take a lot longer than I thought, so my apologies. I will have that for the next meeting.
Okay. Alright, draft budget and warrants. Who's that? Oh, it's the wording for the article. Okay. Right, so the copy in your books shows a 6.5% increase. And that is with the changes we made at the last meeting, which includes the payoff of 2 leases and the adjustment of a couple of other lines. So, I guess, do we have any adjustments before we get there? Is anybody looking for adjustments to ambulance, pest control, assessing, or building inspector?
We had mentioned, pest control potentially dropping 500 off that, where we used 1,800 last year, and we had budgeted for 2,500. Was that brought up at the budget meeting? If maybe we could drop it to 2,000.
Well, I understand we might have a pest control problem at the garage.
It's a bucket.
So where,
They already have
So it was on the front page.
Nice, all right.
It was animal pest control line.
right, no, I'm looking at the breakdown, so I'm just wondering where
Where
we
we
take it
pull it
from.
from.
So you've got 500 in boarding and 2,000 in dog licenses.
And we pay the 500 every year, right? That's
Yes.
that's
So
our
if we were
contract.
gonna take
It would have to
500,
go out of dog licenses.
it would have to come out of dog licenses,
All right, the other one is under general government.
right?
Right.
See what's Michael out there.
He was, yeah. I mean,
I think
again, it was a
somebody had to leave or-
proposal. I mean, do you think we get away with 250, thus leaving
Yeah, I'm just wondering-
$450 more in there?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if our price for the dog tags.
It's going up.
went up.
Well, not that I'm aware of, but we only had to order them once this, in 2025, so it was $1,300. If we run out, you have to order them again.
It's all right.
That's what the extra is for.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
alright. So we good with leaving that alone?
So we get revenue for dog licenses, but there's no way to kind of offset that, it just, we need it in the budget in order to purchase.
Right,
But we do
Man, that's the
have,
cost of the tags.
yeah, we do have revenue to offset.
yes.
Correct.
So whatever we purchase, typically we get back, especially if we have to order twice, obviously, we're getting back everything we spent the first time.
Get just under about $4,000 in revenue for dogs.
So yeah, it offsets the,
And then some.
alright. Assessing. Is there anything in there we needed to look at? I think,
At
did you
the
make it?
ABC meeting, they talked about,
The BTLA legal fees?
well, it was the maps.
Oh,
We-
the maps,
We took
yeah.
those we took $500 off the map line.
The 6 tax maps?
Number 6, yes.
For what?
Tax maps Reduced from the proposed of 3,500 to 3,000
Okay,
since
so
the last ABC meeting.
All right, that's already reflected in here.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
What's the ration, cause we're not using it, or we're not spending it, or?
It's an unknown, it depends how many changes get made to map, so we're just gonna wing it.
Oh,
To our own.
and I don't think the budget committee wings anything.
Try not to.
We're trying now.
All right, so that was already made. Building inspector,
Nothing there. I don't have anything.
I don't see anything there. All right, so the next line would be Conservation Commission. We've had our explanation on that. Anybody have any adjustments they're looking to make to that line, or that group of lines? It shows a 14% increase, but it's $650.
$50. They spent just about all last year.
Was, the Conservation Commission, I think, was gonna look into other, like the, for example, the Leaping Lizards, folks that the rec got.
I think they decided not to at the last meeting,
Not to look into other options.
cause we don't have lizards around here, we have baby bears, I don't know what the other thing, but, you know, more pertinent animals to our area than,
Okay.
All right. DPW administration, I believe we have Mr. Aruda here to talk to us about the part-time position.
Yes.
Wow.
Would love to hear it.
Oh, Mr. Ruda, we didn't see you back there.
Would you like this
I
chair?
don't miss this a single bit. Going through that line by line.
We miss you.
John Ruda, transfer station, former one of these guys, 25 years. The reason I was here, it might have got complicated with, or thrown in with other things. I'm only looking for 16 hours a week, 4 hours on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't need a full-time person, I just need someone in the clutch of the day where they're getting crushed. And it's not that we can't handle the work, we can, we're losing money. Because when you're tied up with a trucker, well, that guy's pretty good, because he comes in preloaded. But I got people that come in with things you have to paw through, and meanwhile you got cars going one after another. We handle about 1,500 cars a weekend. People don't believe it, but we've got 4,000 permits out. So that number is less than 1 per minute. And at times we can get 10 in a minute. There are only 3 people that are certified by the state of New Hampshire to operate that transfer station. I'm one of them, Eric is another one, and Dave, who just left, is the third. There is no one else who can operate that station. We can get into trouble if the state ever showed up and their certificate was not hanging on the wall. So I'm giving you a little bit of background. I noticed in last week's minutes, there was a comment regarding people picking up 75 pounds. I don't think any DPW worker in this town has ever bench pressed 75 pounds. To say that that is a prerequisite is a fallacy. I've been there 5 years. I've never been able to move anything. We've got 2 people, possibly a third person, with a piece of equipment, and we don't move anything that's much over 50 pounds, except for those Sony Trinitron TVs. And we put those on a pallet, and they stay there. The job description that I have, that was given to me 5 years ago by the DPW director who was no longer here. My position originally was to run that guard shack, check the stickers, price out orders, collect money, be responsible for it. Well, it has morphed into some kind of management of the whole operation. I don't mind doing it, but we do need some extra help. This may be too late in the process, because I know you guys, I know what that's like. And this is the first time I've ever come before the board and asked for money, because I also had the other end of it, taking money away. So I wish you'd give some consideration to it.
So $16, 16 hours a week,
16 hours a week,
52 weeks.
probably, we can set the number's probably gonna be somewhere around 15, 18 bucks an hour, somewhere around there.
Okay.
I'm guessing that would be your call, it's not my call.
Do they need to be certified, like you said?
They would have to get certified.
Okay,
You have to study more, you come down here, you take a test,
okay,
and you have to have ongoing classes every year. You have to go to a class every single year. So that's what I'm asking for. That's the bad news. The good news is, we took in $77,711 last year, against $70,730 the year before, roughly a 10% increase. We recycle scrap metal to the tune of $8,629.66. And we have recycled aluminum cans, guys not drinking as much, $6,153, for a grand total of money given to the town of $92,493. That's a fair amount of money. The thought process outside of, wouldn't affect me other than people yelling. It might be the time for us to start looking at charging for stickers. Many towns do it. We will not be the only one. Many towns get 5, 10, and as much as $20 for a sticker. Might be something, I don't recommend $20 because they'll have our heads. But you might wanna think about charging something. With 4,000 permits, that could handle a fair amount of cash.
yeah.
Question?
So doing the math, I think if it was, we estimated for $18 an hour, times the 16 times 52, that's looking at about just shy of $15,000. And then, Linda, we would have to account for like FICA and stuff on top of that?
7.45%.
Okay. Times. Okay, so that's just over $16,000. The current budget line shows 26,000. So was that the only?
Only 20,000 of that was for this person, the other 6,000 is for, well, maybe I'm wrong, hold on.
Well, the payroll's on the DPW, is that correct, still there?
Yeah, I think, yeah, payroll's under the DPW. I think I'm not saying 6,000 of it, but I know only a portion of it was for the one person, the other portion of it was for raises for the other part-time employees.
Okay.
I don't know how much it equated to, but I still think that we can safely cut 4,000 from that line.
You think you're losing that much money, John?
Yeah.
You think you're losing $16,000
Well, maybe not 16, but yeah.
to offset the cost of adding somebody?
Right.
You think?
It's not only missing it, it's I mean, it all sounds great, you gave us a great chart to work with. But it doesn't always follow the chart,
Right.
because you've got loads in there. I had a load last week, and I went through the back of the guy's pickup truck, and I said, that's metal, go to metal, this can go to the household. You owe me $15 for the rest of it, $30 for that mattress. Well, I don't wanna pay $30 for that mattress. I said, well, then you can take it home. Simple as that. I left to go clear a compactor at the far end, we're at the near end. At the far end, clearing the compactor, took me about 3 tries to get it cleared because we were running behind. I came back and guess where the mattress was? Yeah, that was $30. I'd take that person.
Well, it's still crime, and we should have a camera there so you can get there.
Well, we've asked for cameras, we
They're,
don't have
um,
cameras.
They're,
We've also asked for floodlights up there. In the morning, we're working in the dark.
for the license plate, I should say.
Even if we charge, I just did the math, and even if we charged $5 per sticker,
$20,000.
that would cover a new employee, plus possibly cameras and floodlights.
I would not be in favor of charging anybody for that. We already get, our taxes
I
are
mean,
so
it's-
high, we get no
It's not-
services.
It's not a deal breaker for me. I'm
Okay.
trying to do what's best for the town.
Well, to be honest, my biggest fear is we're looking for, I don't know, a person that doesn't exist, I think. You're gonna work
Well,
4 days
that-
on
that is part of the
Friday,
problem.
Saturday,
And
Sunday,
I didn't want to quite.
right in the middle of the
discuss. We may
day,
not
I
find
mean-
anybody.
Right.
at $18 an hour.
But what you may find
It
is
just,
an old retired guy.
no, John, I'm not saying you don't need the help, I just don't think you're gonna find somebody at $18 an hour.
But I wouldn't assume
go-
that. I wouldn't
Yeah.
assume that
We
at
don't
all.
know.
Yeah. we don't
Until
know.
you try
It
to
could be the
apply.
perfect fit
Yeah.
for somebody
Yeah.
who's only here on weekends.
Or who wants
to
to
get
golf
away
all
from
week
his
long.
wife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be.
Well,
You
there's
know?
two of us that work all week long.
What's that?
There's two of us that work all
Me
week
too.
long.
Yeah.
How much does the certification cost? Any guess?
$50?
$50 a year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad, okay.
Yeah. Goes to the-
Well, thank you, John.
We have also had, by the way, up until less than a year ago, we had 3 people there. And when the last one left, made the year, I think, he left. That position kind of just vanished.
I can't remember if we cut the budget when it happened.
Must have, you gotta get it back.
All right,
Okay, we good?
thank you, John.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate
Guys
it.
have a really good time.
Here, I'll trade you. John, I'll trade you. You can sit. You can sit right here. I'll, no?
See you guys, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
All right, so before we move on from that line, the biggest question is,
Nobody likes our budget.
Barely not.
It's
John's
pouring
starting
down.
There it
Right,
goes.
buddy.
Figure it's okay with John to leave, they can go, right?
I just.
he was keeping them all here.
He was standing in the doorway.
Where's that money, not, guy, I don't know.
Oh,
You know, you guys don't have to hang out in the hallway.
Wait, take
We've got plenty of seats now.
it outside.
Oh, I think that was two
There we
separate
go, come
comments.
on
She
in.
was trying to get these guys in.
That
Oh,
one.
those guys,
These guys.
yeah, those guys talking. How did they outside?
Thank you, Nicole.
this is not under freedom of speech.
All right. So we need to decide whether we're leaving it or taking it out. And the biggest question is, are we losing enough money to cover the third person? And as much as I'd like to get John the help, even in his words, he's not sure we're losing enough to make up for the salary.
Right.
My concerns are, oh, Jill left, fingers. If we don't do something, this budget's gonna come back without the stamp of approval of budget committee and it's going to fail.
Well, I don't have a problem taking it out.
I-
Me either.
I
I've
don't
got
think
it
we're
on my
losing
list
that
to
much to add to it, but.
It's right here. Negative point.
Go ahead, Sharon.
Sharon Schilling, is there another alternative that we could, some resource we could provide the transfer station, like walkie-talkies, that when somebody's not authorized to dump a mattress, you go out over the air and it notifies the other person, because I think part of the issue is John has no way of telling, if he's at the gate, he has no way of telling anybody else that, hey, this guy's not authorized to dump that mattress, keep an eye.
Yep.
And then, you know, that's only a couple grand for 2 or 3 walkie-talkies, you want some redundancy in a base station or something, but.
I think Dylan's gonna answer your question.
They haven't.
They have them?
Do they use them?
I would say no.
But they're
That was
there.
There you
Michael.
go, there you go. We'll
Do they
get
have
new
batteries
batteries.
in them?
They haven't been charged in years.
Yeah.
Alright, so,
We'll get
So-
them new batteries.
So I would say that maybe, I lost my train of thought because that was kind of funny,
You
but
gotta go with
um,
cameras.
that a camera is cheap. What are they, $150 on Amazon now? Just for the license plates coming in. That's all you need.
And you would also want one for
With the
the
truck,
containers,
yeah.
right? So you could see,
I mean,
but
you
I
could-
agree.
You could get what's called the multi-pack,
Yeah.
and they're all connected to one thing, and I just, yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is we do have part-time, he mentioned 3 names that are certified. One, I believe, is a part-timer. Did you hear him say that? How many people are certified?
John and the other, transfer station assigned,
Okay.
they're both, they're both, certified, and then
So is somebody not there for the whole weekend?
No,
I
no,
thought
he's
he said
saying
3
Dave
people.
Swift is also, but he's
Oh,
hauling.
okay, yeah, alright, I couldn't remember the third name, that's all. I was
So,
just wondering if our current part-time employees, if they wanted to pick up more hours, we could get them certified and they could pick up here and there on the busier times. Like you have the option, you're only on 10 hours this week, you wanna do a Saturday or Sunday for 4 hours, something like that. And offer it to the 2 part-time people already on staff.
But I don't have an issue with cutting this one.
Cutting it, me
So-
either. I'm gonna look.
I don't
Yeah.
either, I'm just saying for the once in a
Mhm.
while.
I thought, I do not know the workload of the DPW, but a thought is to have 1 or 2 other guys certified for $50 and be able to support, legally certified, support the transfer station as necessary.
Yeah, we can certainly look into all of it. Mike, you had a question?
Mike Bayou, I just thought maybe another source of potential revenue was to, I know you can't, it's hard to enforce, but maybe consider making recycling mandatory so that, you see some people come in and they go to just the household waste and they're gone, and they threw 6 bags in there. Maybe consider making it mandatory, realizing it would be very difficult to enforce, but I think you might get some more product in the right areas.
That is, enforcement, I think, would definitely be a challenge.
Yes.
And
I
one of John's biggest pet peeves at the dump is when he hears glass going in the trash dumpster.
So, in the meetings that we've had, when this budget was proposed, I am fairly confident that $20,000 was the number proposed for that position.
I think I remember.
Yeah, because I believe it was proposed at 20 hours a week at $20 an hour.
Yeah,
So now we're talking 16 at 18.
so,
Down to
I,
17.
16 and 18,
and
Yeah.
I hate to do it to John, but I'm gonna propose that we cut 20 out of it and roll this year through and try to see if we can get some of the other part-time guys maybe to help out if he needs it.
So, cameras, maybe something like,
Cameras.
something
And
cheap.
cameras,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
cheap.
yeah.
And maybe work on getting him the lights that he needs to, to work down there.
I'll go with that.
And we don't have like the break for the, the other increase in that line, we don't have any breakdowns as to what that actually looks like. You know what I mean, if $20,000 was budgeted, what the other 6,000 breaks out to, or what it's assigned to, so. We need that information, I think,
Increase.
before we finalize this budget, we need to. Is that all, that's all, yeah, 'cause this is the salary line.
Yeah,
Alright, so
it's
that,
all wages.
alright, so 38,800 is all planned for wages.
So-
And 20 would remove almost half, or more than half of that.
Yep.
Additionally, the raise increases are far exceed the 2.8 and 2.2
But
and
we
the
don't-
1.9.
We don't know,
Yeah, we don't know who's getting what, but overall,
well, it may individually work out to
oh,
less.
Right, that's the thing with the block number for,
Yeah.
say, the DPW. It's gonna look like a larger percent than whatever, if it was proposed at 3%, it's gonna come through as a bottom line of a larger percent because not everyone gets paid the same amount.
Right.
So there's larger increase with a larger
Cut
salary.
somebody out of that.
Yep, I've got 3 others on top of myself that are okay with cutting 20. Joy, I just want your nod for the record. Yay or nay?
If we can find a way to still provide support, then yes.
So for our next draft, can we remove 20 from that line?
sure.
Alright, just underneath it, you have the rest of the administration portion. anything in there. Looks like it was flatlined below that. Anybody?
What was that?
I'm just talking about line 7 through 11 on administration. Anywhere in there that anybody was looking to do anything.
Training, we're way under on training. And we're under on uniforms by a hair. T2 training and stuff is it free?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. How much can you speak to the training line? Do you think we'll spend more than the 1,200 we spent this year? Any clue?
I don't know how much it is per head to go.
$60.
60?
60.
Okay.
And do you know offhand, anybody, approximately how many trainings, like, you know, each guy goes through per year? Are we talking like 5 trainings per employee at $60 a head kind of thing, or? I guess the question is this a standard year? Does anybody know if this is a typical year for training? That would be $1,800 under. I don't
Are there
have,
expirations coming up that we should know about?
Right, is there gonna be more? Is
Yeah,
there gonna be heavier
more.
load this
Yeah,
year
right.
than there was last year?
Sharon has them already written down, all the expirations.
I'm
Just kidding.
But it generally makes sense to use, if you don't have specific numbers and if you don't have, like, this year's gonna be heavier because we've got 3 more certifications that have to be done, to at least use a 3 to 5 year average as to what you've spent in the last 3 years, instead of looking at just this year exclusively and saying, do we think that that's gonna be a good number? So, you know, if you can get the 3 to 5 year average of what we've spent on training, and if there's one year where it's significantly higher, significantly lower, what that explanation is, and then put that into the thought process.
Alright, so we're gonna leave that one alone for now?
if I draw down from previous years.
Alright, we're into DPW highway. I had a couple.
I'm sorry, can you go back, the uniforms? Are we in the last year of that contract?
Do you know if we're in our last year on the contract with Cintas? Not sure.
I thought it was, yeah, I thought it was a 3 year contract.
It's close.
And is there any discussion with DPW as to what they're gonna do going forward, once that contract ends, and how they're gonna?
I imagine you guys are happy with the Cintas uniforms. Anybody angry with Cintas and their uniforms?
If the contract's expiring, we should.
There was
it's-
discussion 2 years ago of getting rid of it, the laundering portion of it. But we couldn't because we were locked into the
To
contract.
the contract.
And I'm gonna say that more than likely we're at least locked in through this
Part of the-
summer
I think
anyway.
it's another year.
One more year.
I have it upstairs on my desk, but I couldn't tell you, I think it's another year.
Alright, so
Then
we'll
can
take
we-
another look at that contract, see when it's up.
And then, yeah, see if there's reductions that we can make in it, or shop
Other
around.
avenues, yeah.
You mind just looking and letting us know at the next meeting? Thank you then. Alright, DPW highway. Calcium chloride seems on par. The cold patch is really, I mean, it's on par within reason, but hard to tell where you're gonna have to patch. Contracted services went over, but we're budgeting the same.
Okay, did we purchase asphalt for some of our own patching? Cause I read some summaries that we go out and do some paving of, I would assume, small areas that we cut out that are bad and do it ourselves, and we have a roller. So I'm wondering why there isn't an asphalt line. Any reason?
It's in the road improvements line.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I
just
had
it's
to
a
find,
material.
I knew it was in here, I had
Yeah.
to figure out which,
Cause I read where they
Yeah.
cleaned out the asphalt out of the dump truck, they put away the roller, cleaned that, and they were doing some patching, so I was like, well, where's the asphalt line? Yeah.
it falls under that number 9 road improvements.
Can I put Dave on the spot about iWork and vehicle repairs?
Hold on.
Okay.
That's way down.
Okay,
I
well,
have-
there weren't
I
any
have-
changes in
I
anything
have
else.
questions
Okay.
before we get there. One of
Just so
my,
you're prepared, I'm gonna ask a question about iWork and vehicle repairs.
my question is about gravel, and a couple of you guys are here. We budgeted 25, we only spent 18. Is there any way we can come down, or do you think we're gonna need more this year? Is there something?
I mean, yeah, ideally we put more gravel out, ideally, all weather dependent, really.
That's what I figured the answer was.
I would think that, if we improve the shouldering of the asphalt, we would need gravel. for
More
it.
gravel.
Right, that was-
Yeah. I just wanna hit
everything.
everything. Nobody's gonna like this question. But the salt line, we budgeted 36, we spent 71, we're only going up to 48. Not that I wanna go up any higher, but I guess my question is, why haven't we gone up higher if we spent so much? And I know you didn't put this together, but is that 48, in your opinion, gonna be sufficient?
If the weather keeps up the way it is, no.
No.
Well, if we get a salt shed, like, don't we lose, I thought we lost like a certain percentage of salt due to weather because it's not under a shed,
Well, it is under a shed, it's just not,
fully protected?
yeah, the front is,
Kind of more open-ended, like.
yeah, well, rain tends to get everywhere, so.
Alright. I don't wanna go up on it, I just figured I'd point it out that we're not budgeting as much as we spent.
We went up 12,000.
And I went through this and there's a couple places where I only found a couple $100, but a couple $100 in every line adds up at the end. So the signs line, is it the signs line?
Yeah, you got $803 in the signs line.
Yeah,
Is that for road signs?
Yeah, road signs and.
I just don't know if we can cut $500 out of that line.
It's not for like the signs where, when they're doing work and they need to put out like,
I would
their
assume
safety signs, like flagger ahead or something like that.
I'm assuming they're road signs, like
So, yeah,
street signs.
Actual
Street signs.
street signs.
Street
Okay.
and
Yeah,
apartment
just checking.
signs, yeah.
Stolen or
Yeah,
damaged
yeah.
during plowing or
Yeah.
accidents. You
Like
gotta
High
replace
Street on
them.
April 20th?
Yeah, High Street is
Every year?
always gone,
We're not buying them.
April 20th, yeah.
I don't know, I hate to nickel and dime it, but you nickel and dime it through every line and you get somewhere at
It's
the end.
something, right?
Yep.
So are we okay with cutting 500 out of that line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get that one?
I was hand picked one anyway.
Alright, now you can put Dave on the spot.
Hi, Dave.
Alright, Dave.
As our fleet manager, very well versed in iWork. How well are we able to use iWork to estimate upcoming vehicle repairs for the year? I know there's some.
Besides routine service,
Dave, can you step in?
besides routine service that we do, you can't put a guesstimate on a breakdown.
Right.
So,
Do you know if this line, again, I don't know if you know, but the, kind of the 50,000 or the 46,000 that was spent this year, do you know how much of that was routine versus kind of emergency, or?
Most of it was probably emergency or breakdowns.
Oh,
Because
okay.
routine service is just a small percentage of that number.
Okay,
So, it's not unusual to have a breakdown that costs you $10,000.
yeah, and I know we've been pulling out of the highway heavy equipment ETF as well,
Yeah.
to try to
And
take care of
hopefully
that.
we're past that, but, you never know. So,
Is there a way to put a line in it for maintenance and one for repair?
Yeah,
Cause maintenance
it
is like
is.
brakes and tires and
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
it is,
But still a
okay.
percentage of that $15,000, I would say, for the routine maintenance would be 25% of that probably,
So about,
For
of
the
the,
fleet,
of the
so-
50, sorry, go ahead.
for the fleet, yeah.
Of the 50,000, you'd say,
Roughly, I'd say 25% of that's just routine maintenance.
okay.
And it's proposed to
This
increase
come-
10,000 this year. The proposal went from 50 to
Well, I'm not
60,000.
anticipating any big expenditures on routine maintenance, like tires, we've just outfitted last year, the last truck that I think, pretty good shape on tires, we might end up having 4 recaps that I might buy, but that's gonna be a couple $100 a tire.
Okay.
But other than that, it's just routine maintenance, oil changes, fuel filter changes, stuff that we can do in-house.
So maybe instead of going up 10,000, we can not and just flatline that?
Again, I can't anticipate a truck
I know.
that might break down, that's the only thing that you wanna be careful about, because,
So the line is 50,000, we spent 46,000. And I know we
43.
did take some out of the ETF.
Oh, yeah, the new one.
Still shows.
Yeah.
46,072.
Yeah, the new
Still
one.
shows it's being spent from here, because the ETF returns them.
there were some repairs, I think, that were paid through the ETF.
There were.
There was $18,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You had your hand up.
Dave can correct me if I'm wrong, but vehicle repair, I mean, Justin's truck, we just put 2 new hoses on the front of the wing tower that are maybe 3.5 feet long, and both of them combined are almost $1,000.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get,
It doesn't take
just
long.
for, just say the excavator, those hoses aren't 3 feet long, they're 6, 8 feet long. Yeah, there's some small
and
ones,
longer.
Yeah.
but I mean, that one hose could be $2,000 for a hydraulic hose.
We have an ETFs,
So on that note, and it's a little bit off topic, but we are working on 3 quotes right now to make our own out hoses in-house. So if we have a breakdown in the middle of the night, we can make our own hose. The truck's not sitting until NAP opens up, Pullman's opens up.
that's great.
And it's looking like it's gonna be an affordable deal, but we've gotta get 2 more.
Not only do I love that, but you said the magic words,
Affordable.
3 quotes.
Love your quotes. I heard affordable.
More affordable.
So right now, we do have 20,000 in the highway heavy equipment ETF. My inclination is,
I'm sorry,
How-
how much for the ATM?
you have $20,000 in the highway heavy equipment ETF? Does
Is
it
that
be?
what goes in there, what do you normally put in there anyway?
It de-
It's
some-
proposed 10,000 this year, so that would bring it up to 30.
Would that 30 cover us and we could take the 10 out of the budget?
Take 10 out of the budget, so we bring it down to 40.
50, no,
it
because
would
it's
stay
proposed at
50.
60.
It was proposed to add 10 to bring it up to
Yeah.
60.
They 50, that'd put you at 80,000.
The budget down to 50 on the vehicle
My
repairs.
It's just a
concern
shift.
on the repairs part is we have quite a fair amount of trucks that aren't covered under warranty. So, especially like the one that I drive, if we lose a rear end or transmission goes in that, we could eat up 35 grand like that. Not saying that it will, but it has in the past, but that
Always been.
was under
Yeah.
warranty at the time, so it was covered.
Right.
This time around, it wouldn't be covered, and that's my only concern with that, is to have something like that come up that is unexpected.
Yeah. So the current vehicle repair line is $50,000 for 2025. We spent 46,000,
But we also spent 18,000.
18,000 out of the ETF,
Yep.
bringing that down to 20. The proposal was to increase the vehicle repairs up to $60,000 for the year. And then as selectmen, we're trying to figure out what we add to the ETF. What do you guys think about canceling the 10,000 in the budget line and flatlining it $50,000? And then having the highway heavy equipment, like we're already planning, go up to $30,000 as kind of that cushion in case,
In case something like that does happen.
yeah, what do you guys think?
So,
It'd be the-
so leave the 10,000 and that's proposed for the
Warrant article.
warrant article.
And cut the 10 out of
Cut
the
the-
budget.
And that would give you,
Well, last year they spent 46 in the line and 18, so 54 in total, and we would have 80.
64 in total.
60.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 64 in total.
Yeah, we have 80.
Would that be 80?
Yeah,
I'd give you 20.
sorry. You're right.
You guys all right with that?
Yeah, I'm not coming up with anything big.
Well, it's the unforeseen.
It's
Right, God willing, nothing explodes.
That's
For
all
all
right.
of us.
We're the ones that are gonna
Unforeseen
cut it,
problem.
so if you don't have it, then it's our fault.
Right. Then it comes out of the selectmen's stipend line.
So,
You can't even buy a tire off that.
Even when it's under orange,
You know, for instance, Saturday night, the center bolt on the plow broke, and the plow separated from the truck like that. Truck could have ended up on top of the plow, which could have caused a lot of damage. We got lucky that it was going really slow when it happened.
And it was 10 o'clock at night.
And it was 10 o'clock at night, in the middle of 113.
Oh.
So,
Frost eaves.
and that was just a bolt that broke, but it was,
Right.
Right, but that could have been a bolt to
That could have.
$20,000 in catastrophic
that could
damage.
have took
yeah.
out the oil pan of the truck. I mean,
Transmission cooler.
Would that fall under an accident then, and it'd be covered under insurance?
That's it.
If it got to, I think the
If
level
it
that you're
got to
talking about.
that, you know,
Yeah.
just
If they
saying something
did,
like that, you
yeah.
know, you never know when that happens, you know,
Yeah.
something like that's gonna happen.
Right, right.
And that's not anything we can like add to the checklist of when the trucks come in, check the bolts.
Just a weak spot.
Well, if the bolt broke, there's nothing.
Right, there's no,
Alright.
there's no sign.
I watch way too many air disaster shows where they like backtrack on what may cause the plane issue and then they change the FAA regulations and they change the inspections and stuff. So that's what I'm used to, that's the way the brain
alright.
works.
Are the
is-
5 of us on board with taking $10,000 out of that line?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
All right, thank you, all three of you for your
Thank
input,
you.
really appreciate it.
Alright, so we've got 10 there. DPW Parks and Rec, again, nickel and dime it. I think we can cut 150 out of the general maintenance line. And the lake monitoring we're not doing right now, is that correct? Cause there's nothing expended.
Slam is doing
Slams,
it.
we're doing all
Yeah.
kinds of watershed right now, so can we cut $6.99 and leave $1 in there to keep that line open?
I agree with that.
Right, because it's being handled from the other end, we might as well.
Yep.
So everybody's on board with both of those two cuts?
Yep.
And what was on the general maintenance?
150.
Hey, remember when I brought my changes like a month ago? You want, can I read remove lake monitoring? Just saying.
Broken clocks
So
right
yes,
twice
I'm
a
on board
day.
with it, huh?
I said a broken clock right twice a day. So
Funny.
throwing that up there.
Okay.
That, had to
Alright,
throw it out.
and feel free to
Throw
yell
it
at me,
back when I
cause
get to
I
it.
worked off the old budget to cut, and I'm bouncing back and forth to the new one with my notes. Solid waste disposal, anybody looking at anything in there?
Quick question, Raft and Dock, are we, we need to keep that 5,000 because we
Oh,
need
that's
to
right.
replace the,
The raft,
at the north side of the lake?
yes.
Okay, at
The
the
foot of the
Monument
lake.
Beach.
Foot.
What? What about Monument Beach, the one that got
No,
trashed?
that was the one I brought you, we
Right,
talked
but-
about last time.
I believe last year it was budgeted to do the work on the foot of the lake raft and we decided not to do that.
No, volunteers did it.
Oh, okay.
Right, so we talked with Dave last year, and we were pretty confident that that raft wasn't gonna make it back out this year if we didn't replace it at the foot.
Okay, so what about the one at Monument that kinda got waterlogged and beat up
I
over the
think that
summer
we
as well?
can still use that.
Okay,
I think that could be, it really, it can be repaired.
okay.
The blue plastic, do you like that one?
I love
This
that
looks like once
description.
it breaks, it's gonna break.
But we also
the
need
light
the
on.
one that was at the head of the lake is, I don't know who it was, but they
Misuse.
took the ladders that came with that dock off and put their own, which they had to drill new holes for. So it left those open holes and whoever it was ended up flipping the dock upside down, which then filled it with water. So when we dragged it into the beach, our loader couldn't even pick it up, it was so heavy. So we had to put a hole in it to drain the water to get it out of there. So I mean, it can be put back out, but it,
Some
Well,
Flex Seal.
we have a resident
Right.
welder who fixed the foot of the lake.
It's plastic.
It's
Ah,
plastic,
well,
it's
that's
like a
what I
Lego.
thought. Oh, okay, now I
It's
get
like
it.
a bright yellow piece.
I mean, you can weld plastic, they do have things that do that, but
I'm sure
it's a
we
little
can
different.
make it good enough for them to use, but just saying it could happen again, that's all.
Okay.
We also need to replace the deck on the
Yes.
dock for the boat launch. So that's an aluminum frame, but we just need to replace the deck.
Okay.
Is it a
Is
wooden
that
deck?
new though?
It's wood.
Didn't we just replace the whole?
We put a new dock in
Yeah.
at the foot of the lake beach.
Oh, okay,
Couple
not
years
the boat
ago.
launch.
No, not the boat
The
launch.
boat
That's right,
launch
it was
is
the foot of
an
the
aluminum
dock.
frame, which
Yeah.
is in very good condition, we just need to replace the deck.
Okay. And that's, do we have that in the budget for you guys to do that?
What's in the budget, it's 5,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, so there's 5,000 in the budget for rafts and docks.
Yeah.
So, are we gonna replace foot of the lake?
Depends on how you want to, I'm gonna have to get 3 quotes for you.
The magic words, Dave.
Yeah. I don't know what it's gonna cost to replace that.
Okay, and then, there is a general maintenance line for $650, but that's not gonna cover decking for the,
No, nope.
so,
Pressure treated?
No, right.
so where do you guys,
Maybe we got a selectman who would volunteer to fix it.
ah,
Okay. I was actually just gonna offer that.
Thanks
How
for
is not?
reminding him.
But now I decided that I can't do it. No, yeah, no, I would be more than willing
Would it be
to at
crazy
least
to-
do the labor part of it for you guys.
Would it be
Like,
crazy enough to look at that tracks and then don't have to worry about it ever again?
as far as,
That's what I was hoping to do.
yeah, which is, we could do,
Just it will never raw,
right,
plastic.
it's
Yeah.
plastic.
And then-
Again, I'd have to look at the framing
Vinyl
on
frame?
how it's done, cause if it's just, I mean, that's 3 feet wide, right?
Yeah, you need to.
So-
I think it's 4 feet.
4 feet wide?
Yeah.
If there's
Yeah,
no-
You need to have supports.
Right, we'd have to add aluminum supports or something if we wanted to use Trex, because even 16 on center in the heat will sag. They tell you it's fine, but it does sag and warp. So if it's less than
Never
that,
easy.
right,
So we leave the 5,000 and get what we can out of it.
and when it warms up, I'll climb in the water.
I was gonna say, maybe he'll do it in March.
As long as I have a really big crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
and honestly, Foot of the Lake is used by so many people, you could probably put out like a donation jar for everybody who uses it, help us get the best raft we can for all of us to use it, maybe we get a
Yeah.
bigger one, do you know what I mean?
That's all.
Maybe it's like a rec summer camp fundraiser or
Yeah.
Get the
something.
PTO to sell cupcakes.
At the Foot of the Lake during
Town
the
meeting.
4th of July.
It's a
Sure,
little-
town meeting.
it's a
They already
little
do,
dirt in there.
but that's for the
That's no big deal. There's your cupcake.
All right.
Alright, so leaving that as is.
But we could put it still.
minus
put
the
a
700 for
donation
like
thing at town meeting towards the top.
Solid waste disposal. Anybody got anything in there? It's flatlined.
And it pretty much was dead on.
Yep. Direct assistance, we've gone through this one, we have the explanations for the increase.
Well, Dave, Mount Carberry falls under the solid waste disposal stuff, all good there? You don't need anything else financially?
Food pantry, we out.
What's that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do we?
I
Oh,
do-
I was gonna question. Did we account for the rise in price for that?
Well, they're at $75 a ton tipping fee right now. There's an additional $3.50 that they're charging us, and supposedly
We can get that back somehow.
municipalities get the money back at the end of the year. I don't know how that works.
You have to apply quarterly for a refund.
Quarterly? Do they send the paperwork to you, or?
I
do you
haven't,
have that?
I don't know the details yet, but I know that that's how it will work. It's so that out-of-staters and companies are footing the bill for the $350 and municipalities don't have to as long as you ask for the reimbursement.
So what information do we need to make that happen?
I can call the office.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll send us some things around when March comes around and it's something we're allowed to do.
Have we been paying that additional $3.50?
Sorry, what's that?
Have we been paying the additional $3?
I don't think we've got a bill yet for this year,
Oh, that's
so.
It's only the 20th.
Yeah. We don't know, we haven't seen it yet. All right.
So for this direct assistance, a couple thoughts on, it's a huge leap to go from 4,000 to 10,000. And I don't know how anybody feels about cutting, meeting in the middle on that.
What was the specific, I think it was talked at the budget committee while I was making dinner and half listening. What is the $6,000 specifically going?
Anticipated.
And yeah, because the federal funds for a lot of the programs are no longer going to be available as of January 1.
What type of
Yeah, I'm not
programs?
aware of the programming, but.
That I don't know. That was the reason that we got at the meeting.
Right.
Was that there's a lot of federal funding that has been cut.
Mhm.
Okay.
So if I'm speaking out of turn, but I believe that our welfare person stated that there would be what the kind of the load that we had last year, and she anticipates that increase because of the lack of funding coming from the Fed.
So I guess my thoughts were, how do we feel about taking the increase and just taking a half or a third off? And the other part was, as far as the food pantry increase, and it's not that I'm anti-food pantry, I'm anti-taxes, But I was wondering, because after that we raised that, he had such an outpouring of stuff and food that my concern is to start generating a report, making sure things aren't expiring. That we're getting so much food, it's
It
getting.
also sounds like the increase in demand has
Right,
increased approximately the same amount.
yeah, so
So-
I'm just wondering, like, if you fill the whole truck with, and then you fill the whole building, and now you're overflowing, and then starts expiring, I just wanna, we make everyone else do a little report, if there's any waste, then we know we can start to cut that down.
So they do just like distribute,
Yeah.
like if they have so much food, they make
Okay.
sure that the
They-
other
yeah, they
pantries
share
get
with,
some
like,
stuff
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
go to-
Hospy
yeah.
Mutual aid?
and, yeah.
Yeah, basically,
Same-
yeah.
Same idea.
Alright, just
No,
checking.
We helped unload a truck the other day and they were, okay, this is for Tamworth, okay, this is for
Okay.
whatever, they really do
Yeah,
spread it around
sure,
and make
yeah.
sure that food doesn't go to waste. And actually, we talked about, one thing they always need is ground beef, and we were half joking about doing a ground beef drive, like specifically for ground beef, cause they have these fantastic freezers, and just saying, alright, everybody drop off a pound of ground beef
Oh,
and
yeah.
stick them in the freezers, cause that's what they always need. Apparently there's Taco Tuesday more than just Tuesday a lot, so.
That meatloaf. Everyone loves a good meatloaf.
So,
Alright, it's something.
in an interest to move forward,
Yeah.
Nicole is looking to cut.
I'm just thinking, for cutting everybody else's, why would we make that leap and not really know if we're gonna need it?
Well, I would wanna know feedback from, I would like more specifics as to what that 6,000 goes to, just for our own understanding, not only to see, okay, can we cut, but also is it enough? And then, again, maybe with the food pantry, just a little update, cause I think when he requested that increase, I don't know that the donation PayPal had been set up yet.
We're not talking about food pantry anymore.
Okay.
We're talking about what the welfare line.
Well, I'm sorry, I was gonna answer her, is that
Oh.
okay?
Yeah, yeah.
When he came to request an increase, he requested $500. It was
Yep.
at the table that it was then increased to $1,000.
Yep.
I would believe then, based on that, because he was asking for $500, that you would be safe to, even if you don't cut the 1,000 into 500, at least take 250 off of that. So the food pantry goes up by either 500 or 750. Would have been, the 500 would have been okay with Joe, because that's what he was asking for.
Yeah, I would just wanna ask him what his thoughts are still on this, does he see that the donations in the PayPal that's been set up, and the generosity of folks, when the awareness was raised at the meeting when he asked for extra support, if that extra support that he received outside of taxpayers from specific donors, if that now offsets that and that's not necessary.
I'm not saying we have none, but I am saying we are running out of time
Yep.
to finalize this.
Yep, so-
That's, I think we
We
need
have
to
an
make,
ABC meeting tomorrow.
Ah.
Oh,
Right.
no, sorry, ZBA.
We-
ABC
I was
is
like,
next week.
what?
I was like, wait a minute.
That was fast.
So what do we do?
Meeting's next week,
I'm
next
just-
Tuesday. Lynn
I
probably
think we need to
can.
make a decision on every one of these lines tonight, and if something comes up at February 3rd, we can change it, but I think we need to make a decision.
Alright, so maybe Linda would know, or Kate that writes the checks, the assistance to the public, is that for oil or
Yep.
rent, or do you?
It could be,
All of it.
it's an unknown until someone comes to the counter and needs help.
And the problem is if we don't have the money in there, like we can't deny someone
Right,
if there's
right,
not
yeah.
if there's no other assistance.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, I'm fine leaving it there.
Tracy's been our director for 15 years and
Yeah.
she knows her stuff.
Yeah, she sends the people to Tri-County, I
She
know
tries,
all that,
yes,
all
she
that
does,
stuff,
but she
I just, and
fears
this is what
that-
we left with,
Okay.
yeah.
A lot of those options for her to use aren't gonna be, are not there anymore.
Okay, then I say leave the direct assistance as is.
Okay.
Cause Tracy does do a report in the annual report, right?
No, she doesn't.
Oh,
So do we wanna take 250 from the food pantry?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, no, I'm
You
saying-
guys can do whatever you want.
Nope.
My answer is no.
okay.
It was my idea to bring it up. I think that food pantry does amazing work, and I think there are a lot of people in this town that need food.
Question.
I just don't wanna do it.
Okay.
Alright, election, registration, and vital, we got our explanations on that. I don't personally see much in here we can cut because of the election season.
Number of elections.
A lot of it's state mandated,
All of it.
but yeah, pretty much all of it is state mandated.
How long are the checklist sessions?
About an hour.
And then the mandatory meetings?
Oh, the checklist sessions, I'm sorry, that's the whole day of voting, so I think that's a 10, 12-hour day.
Yeah, that makes sense, 12 hours.
But the mandatory, the meetings, those are an hour.
Mandatory, about an hour piece.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's not much money for 5 12-hour days and
No.
4 1-hour meetings.
No.
It's about what we get paid. Emergency management. Anything in here anybody wants to tackle? I didn't see anything.
The
Good
generator is gonna be an annual thing, or like,
This
just
is our,
this 1 year, it's just gonna be
this
that
is our
much?
3-year service for those 5 generators.
So it's a little more than usual.
Yeah.
And then the following year it'll go
It's
back down?
dropped down again.
Okay.
Executive. New line for the trustees stipend. Anything in there anybody wants to tackle? Right, financial administration. Anybody find anything in there?
200.9% is so specifically dead on accurate, it's hard to argue with,
Yep.
that.
Right, we make sure I'm on the same page on both of these here.
Right, keep flipping back and forth here.
Next line is the fire department.
Did we hear from Chief about places we could cut? Because we talked about it 2 weeks ago, and you said you didn't wanna change anything until we heard from him. Did we hear from him?
He was here, I think he had to leave.
Yeah, because he said he had a emergency management.
So I can tell you the lines I had questions on and the answers that I got in town hall. Where is it here? So the EMS training line, it really depends on who we can send out for training, and he'd like to spend that line. That was one of my questions. I think there was an attempt to do that this year that failed, but he definitely wants to use it.
Well, they did do EMS training that was, covered, donated, but still, it was only $400 something dollars. So I don't know that 2,500 is, I think that's an area to cut. Cause we just trained 3 individuals. And if it's 150 each, I don't think we need 2,500 in the line.
So what's your proposal?
Maybe do, guess 4 people and keep it at 600 in case we go up a person and train 4 next year.
Oh, and
So
sorry.
cut it by 1,900.
So right,
Training?
the EMS training, right now he has somebody that's what it was. I'm sorry, I'm trying to recall the conversation. Right now he has somebody providing some training for free out of the goodness of their heart, but he doesn't know how long that will last.
What would their rate be then?
I'm unsure.
Okay, I don't want them,
So I'm assuming EMS training would cover if somebody wanted to go to EMT school.
well, they did EMS training, it was $150 per person. It was covered by the Madison Fire and Rescue.
Was that EMS training or
thought
just
it
plain
was.
old training?
I
Two
thought it
separate
was
lines?
EMS.
And
We
I
have
might
two
be
separate
I
lines.
might be confusing the two as well.
Well, it's hard to make these decisions without having the information. So dry hydrants, we didn't expend any of the $1,500. Do we need to be? What do we do with the 5 hydrant, what is that 1,500 for? It was $2,700 for dues that wasn't spent. For 2,500 for EMS training that wasn't spent. $2,000 for radio repair that wasn't spent, $5,000 for training that wasn't spent, $500 for uniforms that wasn't spent. $3,500 for fire warden that wasn't spent, $2,000 for warden forest fires that wasn't spent.
Is the fire warden not spent because we don't have one?
No, he didn't take his money.
I
He didn't
think
take the money?
a lot of those things are, I believe the chief is the fire warden, correct? Where was the other one?
Forest fires?
Forest fires.
Warden for forest fires also, believe.
That's reimbursement if there is a fire
Forest,
and
you
you
gotta
have
have
to
something,
pay
cause we'll get reimbursed from that, I believe.
if it's someone's
If-
fault, yeah.
But you gotta have, yeah.
What is that for?
If there's an actual fire, we pay
Forest fire.
people to work a forest fire that we're able to get reimbursed
We
from.
get reimbursed
Like if
from that.
like if it's criminal or something?
Or if someone was burning when there was no burning and
Right,
it
yeah.
caused them on fire, you know, fireworks,
Interesting.
I'm sure.
I think even if it's an act of nature, I think there's the federal government reimburses the guys that fight that active. Cause when Bale Mountain burnt in Ossipee, I mean, they had guys there for a week trying to fight that.
Right.
I wanna say they got reimbursed for that. So,
So is that even almost like can be a dollar line, because it's just a placeholder to receive money that we then,
No, because if we need to spend it to get reimbursed for it and there's only $1, we don't have it.
okay.
So in the interest of keeping the meeting going without running in circles on conversations, I guess if you have a line you wanna cut, pick it, make a recommendation, and we'll decide as a board.
Okay, I guess I make a recommendation to drop dry hydrants from 1,500 down to 500, I guess. Again, I don't understand what that line is for and why we haven't spent it,
If it's
but,
all the comments are, was everybody's blank or were there supposed to be comments?
No,
I just wanna
I
make
think
sure.
in the interest of, so, the point of the no comments is he flatlined his budget, he gave us a 0%
Oh.
increase, and so there was no reason to
Okay.
explain any
I was
increases.
just curious.
So. Alright, so Joy is recommending cutting $500 from the dry
no,
hydrant.
1,000 and cutting it down
Oh,
to
sorry,
500.
1,000.
I'll second.
I don't think we need a vote, I just want a yay or a nay. Nicole was a yes,
Yeah.
Joy was a yes.
I'm a no. And the only reason I say that is cause I don't know what for. If it's for the money to put one in, what's it for, maintenance?
I believe that it's maintenance and inspection of dry hydrants.
Which we have to have for insurance purposes, correct? For all
Apparently
these.
not, since we didn't spend it.
But is it an
Is it
annual,
yearly?
is it biannual?
Is it biannually? I mean, all
Right.
these developments that have these in them, they had to be
But
there.
if it's biannually, then it should be $1 in the years that we're not gonna do it, and then in the years that we are. One of the
So-
things that we did at the ABC was just to go through this and look at, and Jake, you were there, obviously, is look at it, and because we don't have comments, we've asked for them, but we have not received information. I mean, I will defend Chief, he came and he talked to them, but that was early in the process, and then when we had more questions, we've not gotten any additional feedback. So was not comfortable making proposed cuts to his budget. What I was comfortable with was saying, you know what, there's, 20-something thousand dollars here that wasn't spent. Can you cut 15 of it, and you, Chief, figure out where that 15's gonna come?
And I
We'd
would
agree on a different number or something.
I would agree with that with a lot of our departments. I feel like if we're not in the department, we should just say, can you cut this, and let the experts do it. Cause that's kinda what they're for, they know where they can go without for a year, whatever,
So even contracted services, we were under by almost 1,000, so maybe we cut 500 out of that.
Well, I guess then make it short and sweet rather than going through it line by line. If you guys think of a number you wanna cut out of the whole budget, you can hand it back to Chief and let him put it where he sees fit.
Okay.
So, does anybody have a proposed number they wanna cut?
He's over by 53,000 again and has been for 4 years in a row, so 50,000, and he can let us know what's unreasonable about that number.
Joy said 50,000, Nicole?
I'll try that, yep, cause I see where it can be cut a little bit.
No.
I'm uncomfortable with 50,000.
Okay, and what do you propose? If it were just a one time that it was under budget, okay.
Mm-hmm.
but where it's been however many years in a row.
No, I get that, but I just feel like there's so many,
Too many variables. when
Very,
we're talking
like,
about
I mean-
emergencies.
It's a volunteer fire department. I don't know the numbers of volunteers that they have right now. You hope and pray. I mean, when I was younger, we had everybody that was old enough was on it because that was the hip thing. Nowadays, I don't think it's volunteer is a hip thing to do anymore. But for some reason, maybe the next generation of guys are just hanging around the corner, they turn
I'm
18.
counting 6.
They do 6 people.
That's what
So we get a couple of guys in town. Now you got 2 brand new guys. You gotta outfit them, you gotta train them, and to have them, and you gotta keep them here. Otherwise, you're gonna get sucked up by Conway, you're gonna get sucked up by Ossipee, who has money in bigger departments, and you lose them. Then you're stuck with the same 6 people. So I just hate to see us cut our nose off, and then if we get people, we can't keep them.
Well, we had $500 in the uniform line and nothing was spent. And then member reimbursement, you know, we have the amounts as to who
Yep.
got what, and then it's a flat 44,500 regardless of how many folks are in there. So all that all gets expended every year.
Yeah. It's a point system, I believe.
Yes.
Back to my fire commissioner days, but
Yeah.
I just, again, I just have a hard time putting an axe to this, not knowing, you know, what are the numbers. I just have a hard time.
I have a hard
It's-
time not putting an axe to it
Yep.
when we don't have the numbers either.
So, that's me personally.
All right, let's go for 30 then. If 50's too high, let's say 30. And again, if he has concerns, he can bring them to us and we can talk about them.
Alright, Joyce said 30, Nicole,
Fine with that.
Jim,
I still think it's a little high, so I'm gonna know.
no.
no, I will propose 15.
Jake proposes 15, Nicole,
If it gets a majority, then yeah.
Do I hear 20? 20 going once, 20 going twice.
You know what, I'll go with Jake. I don't like it, but until I see otherwise, I'm not impossible to deal with, but I don't like the idea of cutting any of their services like that, but 15.
Well, we're not cutting services, we're just cutting an unexpended budget. And
The
again-
unknowns, yep.
Chief will come to us and let us know
So I'll go with Jake's
what
15.
doesn't work, what.
That's mine. I don't like it, but
Jake said 15, Nicole said yes, Jim said yes, Joy,
Yeah, 15 is a good start.
Right, and I'm definitely willing to amend if Chief comes back and says
absolutely.
there's more. Like I mean, that's not. I just
It's a starting point.
right, exactly. And I hate to try to axe too high and then it becomes a bone of contention. I'd rather be able
Impossible
to try
to
to
get back.
right. Again, I don't like seeing a large surplus. I agree.
no.
And again, we don't have any comments,
Right.
we really are flying blind. So we're just based on what we have in front of us, which, trying to work with it.
so Linda, can you ask the chief to pick which lines he wants to take that 15 out of, please? Thank you.
And we can encourage him to take more.
Alright, general government buildings, we didn't expend all the fuel line and with any luck, prices are coming down, so I'm hopeful we can cut 4,000 out of that line. Does that make sense to you, Linda, or is there something I don't know?
Nope. I'm sure there's a joke about Venezuela in there somewhere, but I'm not gonna make it.
You just did.
Too late.
It's already out there now. So, I'm proposing we cut 4,000 from the fuel line.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also proposing we cut 3,000 from the heat line on the same notion.
3,000?
Yep.
I think it's 5,500.
What's the wind chill gonna be on Saturday?
Negative 45.
There we go.
Gonna be
The only
great.
thing I have is if you're like everybody else in the world, your Eversource bill just
That went
almost doubled. Linda, have we seen a big one here since, or are we locked in under municipal, or did we see a big jump? Cause I know my personal one and everybody I
Oh.
talk to, if you have Eversource, you just got a
I just
huge
got a
bill.
$600 bill.
Well, mine ain't that high, but
Yeah, but
I pay $19 a month.
what do you want, solar? Okay,
Mine went up like a solid 6.
so I don't know if that's enough. That's all I was saying.
Just to maintain the account.
Well, streetlights are $24.
That's
Believe
it?
it or not, yeah, for this month. That's really low.
That
What is it?
low.
$24?
I thought you were joking.
I'm not joking. I wrote the check. I did the check today.
Wow.
$24.
Did you
Well, they
overpay
made it
for
up,
the bills?
they made it up on the rest of us, cause
Yeah,
we're
I
out.
double checked it and
They
looked
took it out
at
of
it.
my.
Wait, that's the electric bill?
Jeez.
No, this is just for the
Wow.
streetlights.
Stop all the
Oh.
kids, your electric bill.
Well, the
might go
problem
down.
is Christmas lights, things, you know,
Yeah.
decor. I shut all those off, by the way.
But
Your
my only
neighbors think
Get
concern,
'em up.
well, if we didn't have
The
enough
ever,
in there.
not enough in the Eversource line.
That's
Yeah.
just because of the increases are
Pay
ridiculous.
the investor out of that, so.
So town hall projects, we are gonna do, we're talking about the entrances on the CIP committee, you'd think I'd remember, but, we're talking about doing just, is that kind of the projects that we're just planning on for this year, right? Was those two projects?
The 2 porches?
That was it.
Yes.
And I never got the quotes from the people I asked in October.
Do we,
Alright.
can we cut there? Do we think that the porches are gonna cost $25,000, or do we have an opportunity to?
I'm gonna propose we
Seek
cut 4 from
donations.
line 2, 3 from line 3, and 5 from line 9.
5 from line 9,
That works.
5K from there.
Nicole, are you good?
I'm
Joy?
good.
Yes, thank you.
Jim?
Yep.
Jake?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Alright, general government equipment. Anybody find anything in there? It's not one that
I think we took $1,000 out of
Yeah.
technology
Technology, yeah.
services when we were at the ABC meeting.
Yep. And it- yeah,
Yes,
I
you
have
did.
it. Yeah, so I have it marked here.
again,
so-
I'm looking at both.
Bank interest.
Yeah,
Alright.
1,000 out of that.
Insurance, you can't do
Insurance
nothing
is
with it.
stapled, the entrance is stapled.
Legal,
The legal line, I think we've already discussed. But if anybody has any other input, we can discuss it again. We're down 2% on that line. Hearing nothing. Library,
At the ABC meeting, they asked if they would be able to bring down, I think it was a general maintenance line.
Yeah,
They would be able
$250
to
bucks.
take that, yeah, and I did send an email to Sloan and she needed to check with the trustees, but she's on it.
Does the DPW do the snow shoveling, whether it's the school or other town building? No? Okay.
plowing.
Yeah, definitely the plowing. So just seeing it says snow shoveling and roof raking.
Yep, she hires somebody.
Okay. Is the DPW interested in getting in the shoveling and roof raking business?
I'm not sure anybody with the same mind wants to do that.
On a sunny day, but like fluffy snow.
Sure, right, yeah. But it's melting faster than you
Yeah.
sure will.
alright, PEG TV. Anybody?
No, we talked about the budget committee meeting, I couldn't understand.
So in theory, that's
Nobody
supposed to be
knew
covered
anything
by
about
the franchise fees.
Yeah, cable fee or whatever.
Right.
Correct, but it's about $9,000 or $10,000 more than what our franchise fees are.
Yeah. What is the, what happens if we cut it, then we still have YouTube, but we don't have cable, is that like?
I mean, if we cut it, they decide what lines to cut it from.
Their wages took a $4,000 hit. How many employees do they have?
5, 6,
or 6.
5.
So that's 2,000 per.
And no, the reason it increased was because of the increased number of meetings. Because we added a CIP committee, we added the master plan committee, we added,
Okay.
so all these meetings need to be
More hours.
manned.
More hours equals more money and zero control from the town over how it's spent. Correct? Just
Correct.
putting that, just making sure that I'm clear on. Like,
Because
like
they
even,
report to their own board,
right,
but the board is appointed by the, I don't know.
right, that, I'm
Yeah,
right, I'm trying
their
to
own board.
clear the very murky waters here.
Well, it's the same thing with the library, they report to the trustees. They don't report to us.
Right, but we have say in technical, I mean, I guess both ways, but we have say in how much the money the trustees gets to run the library as this board of selectmen.
The whole town does actually.
Right, well, that's right,
If they
exactly,
cut
right,
the
that's
line,
right,
yeah,
right.
they cut
So
that line.
we have say in our bottom line.
They
get
have-
to- They get to decide where
Where it goes.
Where it goes.
And it's a $9,000 deficit right now
Correct.
that the franchise, that the
Based on last year.
subscribers don't pay.
Well, that's the thing, we're losing subscribers.
Last year's franchise fees were in the neighborhood of 46,000 and some change. So, and I can only imagine that this year, losing subscribers, we probably won't go down that much, we're probably gonna be around 45, 45.
And they were hoping to have it increase, but that's been,
And I think the
Right.
increase in the franchise fees is only gonna amount to covering what you lost in
Right.
subscribers. So I can't imagine the franchise fees are gonna change much one way or the other.
I know they are trying to price out different options, like, because we have a contract with the Teleview or whatever that company is to use it, you know, that we go to the town
Mhm.
website to get to it. You know, kind of, do they still do that? Do they just go YouTube? I know they're trying to find ways, knowing franchise fees are going down,
Going
they are
down.
trying to find ways to cut. I think this year the equipment went up because they are trying to upgrade microphones and all that.
Cameras.
Yep.
yeah, and I had cameras
Install
here.
more cameras.
So, anybody looking to cut anything from there?
It just seems like the wages are high to me. I know the more meetings, but it's
we
a
can
big
ask 'em.
increase. I'd like to see
I
what the
think
breakdown of that
Yeah,
is.
exactly, like we
I-
ask every department.
Yeah.
When I read about like the hiring, I think the pay rate has gone up
The
in
pay-
order to attract people.
Yeah,
So do we know what that is?
I think, isn't it $20 an hour?
Not all of them, no.
No, 18 to 20 though, right? In that rate.
I would, yeah, I'd like to see a breakdown of what
And they didn't get anybody?
No, I think it is
Oh,
now that,
okay.
you know.
I do believe the lowest paid employee is $18 an hour.
Okay.
And
Same
the
guy that plays the dump.
Yeah.
And the highest paid employee is $35 an hour.
Okay. So I'd like a little bit more on the wages, cause that seems like a big jump to me. I get the meetings, it's just the amount.
Alright, notes and leases, we talked about moving 2 of those to a warrant article to pay off those leases to save us, I think it's sum total was $11,000 in interest if we pay those off, was that correct?
And,
somewhere around that.
and which ones?
The cruiser and the trash truck?
Yeah,
25 cruiser.
Oh, so you already pulled them out of the budget?
Yep.
Okay.
yeah, the 2 that don't have a notes
Right.
due this
Yeah.
year,
Okay.
where are they?
It's number 6 and number 8 on that line.
Well,
Six
let's
and
stop
eight.
looking at that.
Oh, yeah, you're looking at the wrong one. Yeah.
Start looking at this one,
Yep, 6 and
yeah,
6 and 8.
so 6 and 8 would come out,
Just
which
buy
saved
them.
us, where are we?
Maybe 31, and I don't know what the cruiser
14,
was.
2.
So
Yeah.
46,000.
To save us $46,000 this year and $11,000 in interest going forward. Alright, patriotic purposes.
Wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
What, you don't wanna have a
Nope, people get really
debate on the
mad.
floor about whether or not fireworks should be $6,000 or a warrant article or?
Don't touch
The
the
town meeting voted to put the 6,000 in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Personnel administration. Most of that is dictated to us. FICA, unemployment.
Remind me why the I know we've beaten it to death, but if someone could kindly remind me why the medical HRA FSA went up $6,000, is that the addition of an employee?
Because we upped
No.
the,
Increase,
increased the deductible, so we have to cover that first half of that.
thank you.
There was also, historically, we had been very, very low, and Linda can address this is from her. The number of claims went up this year, and the amount that we paid out went up
Went up, right, yeah.
significantly.
Yeah.
And so in order to more accurately budget for that HRA based on the change to the medical insurance and the number of people who had claimed stuff, this is a more accurate number. Hopefully, fingers crossed, nobody gets sick and you don't pay it out,
perfect world.
but it's there.
Alright.
And the $3,000 increase on medical insurance was an increase, but significantly offset by the change in employee contribution?
Correct.
Okay. And then the employee town retirement went up, is that because that's out of our control because of New Hampshire state retirement?
Correct.
Well, it's all based on wages. It's a percentage of wages.
Did they up the retirement amount this year? For anybody? No?
No.
No employee or town?
No, it didn't change to this
Okay.
year, no.
So is this based on the proposed wages earlier in the budget?
Yes.
Okay, so if hypothetically, we did
So it's-
cap at something percent,
It's 12.75% of the full-time wages.
okay,
Right.
okay. I think it was gonna go to the budget committee and I think then it was gonna come to us, what, like that 2.25 or 2.8, whatever percent wage increase would be if we just took everybody's base wages now and did that 2.8 and then just, what would it look like to do a wage pool, increase pool? Did that ever come into the budget committee, no?
Not that I-
Is that something we'd ask?
I know that we had discussed it, because you had brought up the wage pool idea,
Yeah.
but,
that was
It wasn't an action item on the last meeting? No?
no, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Cause we didn't know what cause we had talked about trying to figure out just what the two, on the itemized people, what that looks like monetarily for a 2.25 or 2.8%.
Right. Can we do that, just add everybody's current base wages, not increases, whatever their base wage is for their base, not overtime or anything, but just their
Right,
base wage, and then we can kind of do the math from there as to what. It's probably something I could sit down and type in a spreadsheet and add, I didn't know if it was a quick payroll report. Like, what's the total amount of everyone's base wages, of the employees' base wages, part-time and
Yeah,
full-time?
that's a-
Just a matter,
There's a lot, everybody.
Yeah, there's no stuff.
there's no like
Can
total,
we,
okay,
can we get through this first and then go
Yeah.
to wages?
yep.
Just to keep it clean? Alright. Planning board. We know what the increase of the $4,000 for is, North Country Council,
For the master plan.
and the increase in the legal line is an increase in legal issues. I don't wanna touch that. Anybody else? Police, I think the chief did a pretty good job here, unless somebody sees something I don't. Right. Recreation. We've gotten our explanations a couple different times, I think. Anybody see anything in here they want to take another look at?
I mean, there is a potential that the transportation costs could change due to the new vendor or the school is using, cause we're gonna use the same vendor. This is based off of,
What?
For students.
so for the transportation,
Yep,
for,
I thought you said transfer station.
no, transportation,
that's-
sorry.
that's first,
Maybe I was
yeah.
slow to remember.
Yeah.
Transportation, cause we're going with,
Yes,
yeah,
now I
okay,
remember that.
okay, thank you.
Like,
I'm not going crazy.
Way over here.
But yeah, so, cause we're going with a new
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I
transportation
remember
company that cut our budget by, or the school budget by $100 and something thousand.
Yeah.
So there was talk of potentially it having a positive, impact on this transportation.
But it's money recouped from the field trip money, right?
Correct.
Yeah, small amount, I think $5 per student,
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
But again, hopefully the new bus
It's
company
cheaper.
will be cheaper than
Yeah.
what's proposed, but
Good.
I don't wanna touch it until we know, obviously.
Right.
And then, Linda, you've got down in line 10 on the subtotal, the 6,592 was how much people paid in for their kids' field trips.
Correct.
And then they're looking to move it up to balance, so the budget line 5 of $6,500 is almost a placeholder for,
65.
like, that revenue will come back in because we charge for the field trips,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of an offset.
Yep.
So it looks like a $2,500 increase, but the income will increase as well.
The increase in the camp counselor line is an increase in number of days if we add the vacation fund days. Alright, anybody wanna shop the street? Oh,
I don't recall what we hired the counselors for. When we bring in new counselors, are we still bringing them in at 18, and do we have return, like, does whatever the camp counselor line also account for, like, are we flatlining their wages, or has Heather given us any detail about how many counselors she's gonna need for summer camp, how many, I just don't want to like get to summer camp and be like, well, we brought somebody in at 16 last year, but it's fair to bring them up to 18, cause now.
no, I think this is either 18 or 19,
Mhm.
but it's a case by case basis,
Okay, but it's covered and we're not gonna,
Yep.
okay.
should be. Alright, back to my original question, anybody wanna shut the street lighting off?
Not for 24 bucks.
No.
Alright, zoning board, we all know the elephant in the room is the legal line.
Somebody on the zoning board just loves to make the lawyers rich.
That's an unfair comment.
I know,
I
I'm
mean,
just kidding.
So that is
Sorry,
thoroughly
yeah.
unfair comment.
But I just don't like my tax dollars going to lawyers, like at all. I'm just
I don't
adamant.
like lawyers.
Yeah.
Alright, I think we have a general idea, cell phone towers, things of that nature. Can't get into too many details, I'm sure,
Right.
but I know the risk, and I think that I'm comfortable cutting $5,000 out of the legal line and leaving it at $25,000 instead of 30.
Has the ZBA put together specifically why 25,000, or?
It was originally 50.
I just had one of those cartoon.
Right. Lawyers are expensive.
They are.
I wanna agree, my budget side wants to agree with you. I don't think the zoning board is thinking it through in that, I think there's more countersuits coming to our town in a big way, and
For what issue?
they just got, all the things that got ruled against, the town for, that those people are gonna want all their legal fees paid. Which happens when you take people to court. So, and that's gonna have to come out of this.
So, can I just
Depend-
offer, we have a ZBA meeting tomorrow, I can bring this subject up and see. You can make that cut,
Yeah.
I'll let them know that that's been made and see if there's any pushback to it or any concern. Or if we think that there's even more cut that we could make to
That
it.
would be great.
Yeah, I'll bring it up tomorrow.
Alright, so I'm proposing 5,000. Nicole?
Kate,
I'm not comfortable with it, sorry.
Nicole's a no.
I
Joy?
feel
For
like
what?
big
Cutting
lawsuits are coming.
5,000?
Out of the
5,000.
legal from 30 to 25.
Yeah, cutting 5,000 from it, yep, I'm okay with that.
Me too.
I think, and just explain myself a little bit further, some of those zoning things are short-term rental related, and we still have some money in that legal expense fund, so Nicole was a no, Joy
And
was
to
a
explain
yes.
myself further, I will never vote to fund that ever again, so.
Jim was a yes, it was my motion, so we'll cut 5,000 from that line, and then if there's.
Way back.
and I'll
Yep.
have a discussion tomorrow.
Perfect. We'll move into warrant articles.
We are
Take
moving.
2 seconds.
You sure can. That's what happens when you get old, sir.
Super, yeah, that's right. You press that 40-year mark.
I don't know if the ladies are set.
Would the zoning board normally write in the comments what they're asking for and why? Is that
I mean, not in a-
abnormal that they're not, or?
Not in a legal line, I think the general consensus is they anticipate legal issues going forward.
Okay,
Whether
but-
it's a standing issue or,
But even in notices, it's 100% increase, and so I was just wondering if they would normally write like a reason, so we have more like everyone else does.
so the notices follows right along with legal, for every legal event
Right.
there has to be notices, so
Right.
it's.
Compounded.
Yeah,
And the number of cases that we heard all get noticed.
Right.
But that line is I always call it a reimbursable, but it's a recoupment. the notices are charged to the applicant, so that money comes back as revenue and, you know, is recouped, but.
Yeah, and I understand that, I'm just saying, like, from, if I was not, like, paying attention to the ZBA and I was sitting up here, I'd be like, what's this about, you know, rather than having an explanation,
Well,
you know?
we can ask you to maybe put a note in, additional notices, that kind of stuff, innocuous stuff, so a little bit innocuous, because we have to be careful about
Right, right.
Yes.
any kind of.
Things that are publicly put out there.
Correct. And the same with like the postage and, the postage is recouped.
Right.
Alright, before I go through this line by line again, because we just did it last week, are there any new articles that I've missed that were added between our last meeting and now?
No, but
But. Where is mine?
I had there was some, language for the police, well, the cruiser one was pretty easy. You decided to create a expendable trust fund and fund it with $10,000, that was easy. It was the other one that
Oh, yep.
Jim gave you guys another printout in there that explained some of the options for funding the,
Yep.
computer upgrade. I just put the Article J there, I just put that in, I'm sorry, Article K,
Yep.
just as a placeholder for you guys to have something to talk about how you'd like to handle it. But Jim gives you 3 options on his paper.
So if I'm not mistaken, D, E, F, G, J, and that is it. We went through the numbers last time, everybody was, well, either on board or not, but either way they are the way they are, based on the way we discussed them last time. Article K is to see if the town will vote to establish a police department software acquisition and implementation. Should that say ETF right after that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. ETF per RSA 31:19-a for the purpose of funding upgrades to the computer system with the Carroll County Sheriff's Department and appropriate an unknown amount of dollars yet for this purpose, and further to name the selectmen as agents to expend this fund. So option 1, increase the computer support budget line for the next 3 years. Option 2, create this ETF and fund it with a certain amount of dollars. And option 3, pay in full after acquisition is an implementation. Computer support budget line was increased for expected subscription support increases.
When we say pay in full after acquisition and implementation, are we gonna need to be making payments along the way?
Yeah, so I got quite a bit more clarification on this, and there was some confusion from Central Square initially when they put together our initial quote for this. So this is actually a 5-year budgeted pay plan that they're offering. And that second page I gave you kind of details those costs a little more clearly. This year, the implementation, it's only gonna cost me an extra $677 to get it started. I've already we paid the annual subscription basically at the end of December 31st. So we've already paid for this year's subscription, which is across the top line, $3,984. So really, year 1 is not an issue right now. If you go down that first column under annual subscription, first payment due at first access, those are the actual numbers that they have quoted us for the next 5 years, ultimately totaling the $39,953.90. That is including the IMC support, which is the management records we use, and it's increased every year. The final line, or the final column, that the subscription, is the actual cost of that software that they're billing us for as the town of Madison, as it's part of the county. So that they refigured it, now it's 17,267. These were just the three options that I put out there based on the conversations I was having with other towns. I gave you Conway's drafted article. Theirs is significantly more. You know, and there's different variations of those options that we could do. I mean, if we paid for the entire subscription software increase altogether, then I would just be paying for the IMC support and the increased subscription rate for the next 5 years. I'll do however you want me to. Again, I don't have a choice on this as the department. It's gonna happen.
What happens in year 6?
I was just gonna say that.
Year six, we're totally done paying for the upgrade payments, and then I just move into paying for the annual subscription and support. So those, I mean, that's right now, for instance, I'm at just almost $4,000. I think the annual cost is gonna be about $9,000 a year for that subscription and support for however long they decide they're gonna keep it like that. They did increase it last year by $200. I don't know, after 6-7 years, I don't know if they're gonna increase it. I just don't know.
When we break it out in a payment plan, there's no financing involved, it's just them
Nope.
spreading out payments over
It's
time.
just, they're just giving us an idea, the exact idea of what it's gonna cost for the next 5 years.
Okay.
Yep.
And there's no rush then to pay it now, I mean, just to pay it all now.
Right, no, there's not.
Okay.
Again, some towns, I think Conway, they're gonna add a big chunk to their or their capital reserve. Some towns are just gonna build it right into the police budget, so there would be no need for a warrant article, but there would be that substantial, you know, couple $1,000 increase every single year to that computer support line.
So, looking at these numbers, how much of, you know, say year 3, how much of that 7,990 would go, this is in addition to your budget, like this goes into your budget, or this is, I know we're having the conversation, warrant article, whatever, but at this point, the way we're looking at it is, that would only be warrant article, or some of that falls under budget line?
None of it would.
None of it would fall under budget line, okay.
Unless you wanted me to put it under a budget line. Yep.
So, and I mean, maybe you explained this before, is this replacing something that you currently use that now is becoming obsolete?
Right, so
Okay.
just a quick recap.
Recap, you can say it like that, that's fine. Freudian slip.
So the sheriff's department dispatch center uses an IMC dispatch computer software. We have it in our MDTs in the cars. We can manage our records through them and then in-house here. And it's about to crash. They're having some serious issues with it right now. This is the new upgrade that is just the next generation of how they manage records, how they dispatch us. They're bringing in other towns like Conway, Wolfboro, Moultonboro to share all their records, so I can see all those things. Now I can't. It's more enhanced. There's way too many features to explain. At the bottom of that second page, there's a new feature which wasn't initially quoted that just came out. There's different artificial intelligence add-ons, if you will. The original one I wasn't interested in. I think it dumbs down policing. But this one that I listed at the bottom, it's called First Two. It's basically open source intelligence. They call it actionable intelligence, which is similar to AI, but it's more analyzed information that's usable, and I can count on it to be real information. But you can put it on a phone. You know, I can. And the thing is, it's free. If I opt to do it now, I get the first year for free. They build in the payments to the second to fifth year. If I choose if I decide I don't like it, then I can cancel it just like a magazine subscription. So I think it's worth a shot. Other agencies liked it.
I guess I lean based on if replacing something that's obsolete, I lean towards the ETF because one day this too will be obsolete. So we will have, the chief will have the opportunity to make the improvement or the switch or the change, however, whatever category that, by having that continually funded, not getting hit all at once. That's the only thing, like if this is year 5, but in year 8, all of a sudden county's changing again or something better, bigger and better's coming out. I would hate to have to come all the way back to the drawing board where making that little bit every, maybe we change the amount we put in the ETF after these years are up, but to a lower, just to get ready for the next time this becomes obsolete, you know what I mean? Because they have to communicate with each other and find out the information on the fly, I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and one thing with this too is it is the next several generations, so this is like, I don't know, going on 30 years almost of the technology we have. And this is like what they're telling us will be the next several generations of information. It's, it's cloud-based. I don't have to store records on a server anymore. It's more manageable, there's lower costs with some things, but their sense is that we won't see another major upgrade from this platform for decades. It's the new thing, and it's been around for.
It's here to stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, it could evolve. I mean, but in the short term, I think you would be adding money for nothing really, unless you want to fund the subscriptions. That drafted language call we used, they're just, as soon as they're done paying for that software, they're gonna close out that fund.
Well, that was my only thought in case this becomes
That being
obsolete.
the case, I would just assume see it in the budget
Yeah.
and create an ETF we don't need in the future.
So right now you have an additional 1,200 in your computer support line for the Central Square increase, so
You can go home or you can
I think
leave
I
it in
could
either way.
absorb
Doesn't
what
matter,
I
yeah.
have there for that
Yeah.
677,
Yeah.
and really that would be the only cost for this year. It doesn't increase, it's a very, very small percentage. But then it jumps, it jumps to almost $6,000 next year.
Didn't say that. I'd like to see it in the budget myself over the next 5 years.
that makes sense to me as well, because it is going to be broken out like 5 payments like this, it makes sense to have it in the budget year to year.
Especially if there's no interest or no penalty, that we can take that entire and spread it across the 5 years, then I think that makes more sense than creating an ETF that, again, we use for 5 years.
You can explain it away.
For 30 years, it sits idle.
Right.
And it doesn't, we're not hit with any ginormous upfront costs that would require an ETF versus sliding into the budget, it seems like.
And if we are, then we create an ETF and fund it.
We'll update your budget. Do you want to do that, or you want Jim to do it? Jim can do it. Update his line in the budget.
677, you said?
Yeah, I think that 1,200 I added onto last year's, I think that'll cover what's here.
Okay.
So no,
Just
I would say I just leave it right as
leave
is.
it it is.
And then, okay.
Next year we'll deal with the increase.
Leave the budget, get rid of the warrant article.
Yep.
Quick thought, if we're all set with that one? The first, the H and I, can we add to the wording to say that this would save X amount of dollars in interest?
I can find out if,
We're allowed to do
They're
that.
allowed to say
So
that.
you just say it, at the-
Okay.
when it brings it up, you just
Yeah,
grab
we'll
it,
definitely
like,
say it.
Okay.
why we're doing this is to save interest.
Yeah, if it's right there for folks, then that.
it might be more on the draft summary maybe, in the notes section,
Okay.
That might be the place to, if you want it printed versus in the actual warrant article.
Okay.
Yeah, if we can put it on
Yeah.
the draft
Yeah.
somewhere.
Wherever it is, as long as it's easy for folks to see and understand that that's why it's happening.
Alright, we talked about L last time, we settled on 10,000.
Well, we have 3 DPW guys here, do we wanna,
I think
Ask?
that's the one we just discussed with
are we,
them.
We
Right,
took
right,
the,
right,
yeah,
right,
the 10
right.
out and
Right,
left
right,
that
right.
10 there.
Never mind.
right,
We talked about the assessing one, the 1-year contract. We talked about the dam improvement. Which raise of some to be placed in the previous, the groundwater remediation. We were,
that balance seems high.
did we need to do, we discussed it last time, I thought.
We did, we wanted to find out with what was gonna happen in 2026, whether or not the $100,000 would cover us if we needed to add anything to it. Mike reached out to, Wilcox
That's
Wilcox
right.
Barton, and
Yep.
they said that their portion of anything that would happen this year would be about 65,000, so they were reaching out to the companies that's gonna potentially, to
Supply.
get some money, figure out what it would cost for any of the products or things that we need, so we haven't heard back yet, but,
So generally speaking, we're hoping the balance is okay for this year,
yeah.
maybe.
Or at least, you know, at least $65,000 of it is
It's
easily covered,
yeah.
and then just depends on what's, so,
So
it's,
we'll have an answer
the
next
next
time,
meeting
or
for
we'll
sure.
make a decision one way or the other. Alright. Master, we voted on the master, we talked about the master plan last time. We talked about forest maintenance and all of the conservation and the tax credits. And we talked about all the charitables, I'm assuming some of these,
all of the ones on this first page
Yeah.
have been okayed by the supervisor. We haven't got anything from, Children Unlimited yet, but they had, I believe they sent me something saying they were going to be doing it.
alright, and we should note on the warrant summary, which includes not just the general budget that we talk about, which is articles right now A, B, and C, but with all of the warrant articles that we've got plugged in there right now, our increased budget is only 1.39%. So when we talk about the 6.5 that we're at now, we're strictly talking about articles A, B, and C. When you talk about all of the money every year, bottom line budget, we are up 1.39%, and that doesn't include anything we cut tonight. So overall, I think we're doing pretty damn good.
I literally just had this like feeling of like heaviness lift a little bit.
You see that number?
I know,
Why?
just a little bit, just a little bit, a little bit, just a little bit.
We have a meeting next week, so.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Well, we did make some more cuts, so that percentage will go down a little bit.
Yep.
But it is, like I said, 1.39% right now, which is a pretty good
Excluding
number.
the warrant articles or?
No,
That's-
that's included, that's
that's
total
not-
budget increase from last year to this
A,
year.
B, and C are
Making sure we say it out loud.
6.6%.
Right, but
Right.
overall, the money that goes to what we're taxing is 1.3%.
Alright, instead of an elephant sitting on my chest, it's just a rhinoceros.
I mean, 1.39% is
Very good.
very good.
Blood and stone comes to mind.
So,
Huh?
Can't get blood
before
out of stone.
we get to the PFAS thing, we need to discuss whether we're going to do a wage pool or we're going to set a rate for increased wages. We need to make a decision. We've been talking budget since early December, and we've been floating numbers and talking, and every time we sit at this table, there's no decision made. We need to make a decision.
I don't know how we can make a decision when we haven't seen people's performance reviews, but on the other hand, fine, we'll do like a 2.8% wage pool and then distribute it from there.
Wage pool or 2.8% increase across the board.
Wage pool, and that way if there are folks who got 5s on their reviews, they would get above 2.8. And if there were folks who need improvement, then they might get 2.7.
Alright, Joy's recommendation is a 2.8% wage pool. Nicole?
Do you have to start at this end? I'm not sure. I agree with, yes.
Again, I struggle
it's-
with it without seeing the math.
It's individual, I don't like it across the board.
Right.
I absolutely don't like that across the board stuff.
The only argument I make across the board is cost of living. There's COLA for a reason. I don't think anybody, and I know we haven't seen the reviews, but I don't know of anybody that we're talking about increasing wages for, or that written in wages is gonna get below average, off the top of my head. I'm not saying it's impossible, but cost of living, I think you wanna retain employees, you want to treat our people right, you've gotta give them at least the cost of living every year. But
I don't like to make numbers decisions without the numbers.
Yeah, and what's difficult is trying to get, if without the budget committee's stamp of approval, it's not gonna pass. That's my concern. It happened, I've seen it happen so many times, so we have to kind of work together on that and have some concrete numbers.
I know, but we're
I know.
We're 3 weeks away from a budget hearing and we need to put something on paper.
It just seems like if you're gonna, 2.8 doesn't reward top performers, so I don't know. Like I said, I thought we had created an action item, obviously we didn't, that the wage pool number was gonna go to the budget committee for last Tuesday, and then we were gonna kind of review that this Tuesday.
Did it?
No.
Okay. just
Right, and I
checking.
certainly
I'm reading
want their
your face.
input, but ultimately we have to make a decision at this table.
I think if we're waiting 2 weeks to look at the fire department budget, we can wait 2 weeks to figure out, make sure we are
Well,
taking
we
care of our
didn't, we
employees.
cut $15,000 from his budget and asked him to figure out where to put it. We didn't wait. And that we have one more week to make changes, but I think we need to make a decision. We never have a baseline, we never make a decision. We talk and a lot of great ideas, but we're elected to make decisions, we need to make a decision. Whether it's hard or not, we need to do it.
No, it's not a matter of hard, it's a matter of being informed, and I
Right?
don't feel like we are fully
And we can change it again next
informed.
week, but I think we need something on paper to work from.
What you're suggesting is put everybody's wages in a pool, 2.8, that's the number. Department heads
figure it out.
dish it out how they go. Is that what you're doing?
Collaborative, I wouldn't say,
Well, the department head would make the recommendation to us
To
as
us.
where they see it
Yes.
working, and we would say yes or no.
Yes.
Like some people
Yeah.
might have really, been employee of the month, 11 months, and some people are, they had to be
No, I get it,
said,
it's merit-based raises is
Yeah.
really, I mean, right? But, I don't know. I get it.
well, here's a proposal. Cost of living plus a little bit, that way everybody, there is a certain coverage of cost of living, but then those top performers still get above and
Rewarded for
beyond, get rewarded for their,
So 3% wage pool?
how's that sound?
That's fine by me.
That's fine by me.
It's an easier sell, I think.
I do too.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so a 3% wage pool, so we'll ask the department heads to divvy it up as they see fit.
Well, I think,
With their
And then-
reviews.
And with their reviews and come see us, we have to stamp it, they can't just.
Right.
It comes to us anyway.
With their review, what their percentage of their raises would be, and then it's dished out. And
So take what was paid out last year.
Base
take
pay.
everybody's base salaries, yeah, base
And
wages.
3% of that will get a number.
Yeah.
we'll have one big huge number, and then it's divided up into,
So pretty much that spreadsheet.
That spreadsheet, yeah. And then ask the department heads
And then
to
it's
present to us
2.8 and up from
Where they want it to
where they
go.
want it to go.
Well, that's a start, and then I feel like
Yeah.
it would come to us, and then we might adjust from
Well,
there.
yeah.
Is this all
Yeah.
gonna happen before the budget hearing, or are you just trying to get that number and the details of it will just happen if the budget passes, then we had talked about after
Well,
town meeting did,
Yeah,
raises
we'll
would
talk
happen.
about it again at our next meeting, but I think for budget purposes, we'll do a 3% wage pool. And then if for some reason we don't nail down all the wage increases before the budget hearing, we still have the money,
Okay,
the number.
that's what I
Yeah.
just didn't know how
Yeah.
detailed you wanted to get
Yeah.
before the hearing is what I was, okay.
So we'll go with a 3% wage pool across the board. I know it's probably gonna be finicky to make that work in the budget for now, but
We'll see, I can get some numbers.
thank you. Sweet. All right. Letter to employees for PFAS blood tests. This letter looks okay, offering blood tests under these circumstances is not required, but may fall into the category of doing anything. It may also trigger the running of statute limitations on any claims, blah, blah, blah. So this is the letter that we sent to have approved.
It's the one that we talked about in October, but we wanted to have
Yep,
it approved and, yep, that's
we got a seal of approval. All right, so I think we've already voted to send it. We got the stamp of approval. So I guess we're here, we'll make a motion. Anybody wanna make a motion to send this letter to the employees?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Joy,
Second it?
second by Jake, all those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. You send it out,
certainly.
thank you, Linda. All right, lists. Nicole?
I'm crossing my list out. I'm canceling it, it's just not the time.
She's canceled. Joy?
I'm canceling myself.
Just one quick question,
Not
did
the
we have
sign.
to give quarterly reports on the grant truck, or only after we have the truck?
No, we made a quarterly report January, the 13th, or due the 15th, they received it.
Okay. Alright. Is there a copy of that in our boxes? I apologize, I haven't gone through the boxes.
I don't think so, but I can get one.
Yeah, thank you, just in the boxes. That's it.
Jim?
Master plan meeting, on March 28th, from 11 to 1, it's been a long night. At
11
the
to 3,
school, there's gonna be a community meeting and a workshop, so North Country Council will be there to meet people, trying to get their input on master plan. So it's kind of trying to gather as much information as we can to try to get this thing going the best we can.
When is that?
March 28th, from 11 to 1 at the school, refreshments will be served.
Can we get that on the town calendar?
It should be, flyers already out, I believe.
I mean, on the, like the static,
The website.
yeah, the website
I
calendar.
believe
It's on
there's
the- it's on the
flyers already out.
It is on the website?
On
Yep.
planning board.
Yep, should
Alright,
all be
thank you.
out. That's
Thank
it.
I only have 2 things on my list and they pertain to Dylan, so I'll
Yeah.
abstain till we get there.
Not much, just working with the budget committee. We got a meeting next week and see if we can
Narrow this
whittle
down.
it down a little bit more once we get, nice to get our numbers that we did tonight, see where we're at, and see if we can come up with something else. It's tough. I mean, Joe stated it last time as we went through it, he's like, it's not easy, it's
No.
tough, but we're trying to do everything we can to make it palatable.
Linda?
There's the town report time. I've asked all the department heads for their reports by, the 29th of this month, and the selectmen need to do mine too.
That'd be you.
Just saying it out loud.
You don't wanna do
Town
that for me?
Everybody has to
My
write a
board say the
paragraph.
same thing.
There you go.
All right,
Might be it
all
up.
right.
Planning board asked me to do theirs
I
too.
will help you. I'm just saying.
I gave them out to all you
It's
guys.
lazy.
Maybe a
To Drew,
gift certificate
Mark,
to someplace to eat.
and
Yeah, Kate,
You-
push back.
Oh, I will.
Just
Okay,
call
yeah,
me
that's
at
not
some
you.
time
That's
next week and
not
we'll
you.
go
Push
through
back.
it.
I'm
That's Drew,
push
and I'll help
I know.
you.
Thank you.
I'll do the ABCs.
He has a copy from last year.
I will do it if you want me to.
Last year, so they have something to go by.
They should have.
Yeah, we're just hearing murmurings that certain boards are asking their recording persons or note takers to do their reports for them. I think as a board, we get to say no. The people leading the boards get to write the And not talking about select board, that's not that conversation,
Talking about like
but just,
ABC, CBA, planning, those.
No, well, most of those boards have the same note keeper, and I don't think that that's,
Right.
I don't think that that's fair.
They want me to give up?
No,
Oh.
no, we're making it so you don't.
You don't have to.
You don't have to
So
do
you're
it.
saying you don't want you to do all that.
you should not be doing the annual reports for the boards.
Oh, thank you, cause
That's what I'm trying to say, is that I want us to make sure that Kate is not doing
I give them
the
all
annual reports
copies
for the
of what they
boards.
did the year before and say, here you go.
Yeah. And you-
Cut and paste.
Well, you're here, is there anything on your list? Dylan? There's only 2 things on my list, and two of them were questions that you asked me that we needed to bring to the board. One of them being the employees will park their trucks inside the garage so that they can plow the driveway. They wanna make sure that they're not going against personnel policy by moving their personal trucks in the garage so that they're not in the way for plowing outside. I
Alright,
don't think it's an issue, but just wanted clarification.
no, just for the time obviously necessary to perform their duties.
Yep.
Yep, fair enough.
The other one was ditching, and I don't remember the whole question, so maybe you can clarify.
So, like, just for instance, say we're ditching on Pound Road. We've had in the past either somebody on Pound Road or somebody in the nearby vicinity, not like up on Howard Hill. They'll see the trucks going back and forth, and they'll come to us and ask if they can have the ditching material. And in the past, we have done that. What is the protocol now?
So this is ditching material we've removed,
We've removed from the road, from the
That-
road ditches. yeah.
that we would have to haul back here and potentially do nothing with?
Well,
It would, yes.
I've thought,
I'm asking again. It's potentially, it would come back here and just sit, or we would have to get rid of it.
okay, my thought is that where, Nicole had mentioned, I think we agreed that the DPW is going to move into a more proactive, here's our plan for the next 2 weeks. I think maybe part of that plan is we're doing ditching, we anticipate having this much,
Who wants some?
right,
Put it out to the town and see.
As long as it's close to.
As long as
Right, right.
it has to be a radius of
Right.
where you're
or,
working already.
or they first come, first serve, they come get it.
Right.
Correct.
I don't know what that looks like,
It's
but-
saving trucking, it would.
Yeah.
Right, as long as it's not, right, you're not
Not-
going further out of your way than it would be to get back here.
Yeah.
But,
To-
again, I don't know, don't visually know how much we're talking about, what it takes to move it kind of thing.
A dump truck
A dump truck, yeah, if it's a truck.
full of, so you're talking like yards.
Somebody drives up with their big ol' pickup truck.
No,
You
No.
can't load it, that's the thing.
Okay.
The liability on that is
Dumped
huge.
out
If
of
you
the
have, if you, like, either they would have, you would have to dump it somewhere.
Yeah.
And they would load it, or you drive it into their driveway and dump it out of the DPW
So,
truck.
Trucking back here is what.
So that it
they're-
saves the taxpayer time and money, I suppose. Well, money really, because the taxpayers
Yeah.
not their time, but if you put it out there and someone, I got, trying to fill in around my garage and it's kinda in the route of travel, it would,
Yeah, it has to
One
be.
more question. I know in the past, the transfer station this time of year has been using the backhoe to dig up people's trailers.
What does that mean?
So, a lot of people
Oh.
load their like contractors load their dump trailers in Mother Nature, it'll, snow, rain, freeze, and they dump it out, it's just a solid brick, it doesn't come out. So they use the backhoe, to help them get it out. I think that's kind of walking on.
It's also liability if they break the trailer.
well, that's the point, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind helping, but I mind, cause we do,
Tell them to
I-
lift it and get a propane torch and
Yeah.
heat the other side of it, heat the other side of it and go.
Run through the car wash and the heat
I
load
don't
all day.
wanna see us getting a bind.
Right.
It's not the same
Yeah.
as helping somebody unload the back of their car with their hands.
Right. Right, cause
You know,
God forbid
yeah, you hit-
tear a hole in the bottom of the trailer,
Or say you didn't, and they say you did.
Right.
Yeah, even, better.
So, general consensus sounds like this board says we don't do that anymore.
We don't.
Thank you
As
for
far as
asking.
the ditching goes, just do best to make an effort to offer it to
Yeah.
as many people that are within the general vicinity.
Well, if the 2-week plan, we're still moving forward with the 2-week plan coming to or, people being notified of it? So build it in, and currently the past 2 weeks' worth of work has been uploaded to the DPW website page. So if you put together a 2-week plan of this is what's coming out, and that goes on the website, and we let folks know that it's an option to go see what work is gonna be done in your area, and then, I don't know,
Good job.
we do a sign-up list, or I don't know how
I think it's
formal we get with
come,
that.
first serve, let's
Yeah.
make it as simple as possible.
I guess the other thing was you'd have to review where it was.
Well, that's it, right,
Yeah,
you'd have to.
I wouldn't, like with their example was used, if somebody was using it around their house, they have to move it around their house.
Right, you would dump
dumping
it right,
far
right.
away from the
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess
I
the
just-
instruction will be to email the DPW, that way it's time-stamped as to who was first come.
I'm not opposed to this.
Yeah.
I just think we're getting into the point where it's costing us more money
Yeah.
than we should be expending to do this. It's one of those things where it's cost effective for us to just give it to the property owner or the guy across the street.
Yes.
It's not cost effective for for him to spend time reviewing where they are, how much is he gonna have, all of those other things that go into it. You're
Well-
right there, and it's saving us money. If you're not right there, it's not saving us anything.
I think we need to, again, just put it on the website, and the awareness of it, that this is, this is
Right, maybe then
available.
you're talking about
and if-
Dylan's time to put it on the website, or Goob, or Dave, whoever comes in to put it on.
That's happening anyway, we're already putting the 2-week plan on the website, we're already putting it in. Somebody sees it, they shoot an email to the DPW. If it goes into, you get more than one person, or you actually have to spend time and effort, like a lot of time and effort kind of managing it, then we
It's
revisit.
not worth it.
But at
Yeah.
least if you just have one person, yeah, I live across the street, would ya? It can be as simple as that, we don't know how complicated it would get. I say we
Yeah,
try it, and
yeah.
if it gets complicated.
I guess that's the point I was trying to make, is if it becomes cumbersome and not cost effective, we don't wanna do it anymore, come back and see us. But I'll try to offer it up to people when we know we're gonna be out. Anything else on your list? Questions?
So does that mean we're moving forward with doing the 2-week plan, and you're comfortable with, creating that 2-week plan of work and giving that, having it come to the board and on the website?
Starting,
I think
Immediately.
Well, I mean,
kind
this
of
time of
immediate,
year,
but
you're
this time of
sanding
year
and
is- yeah.
plowing.
So
But
it's more for when we start seeing melt.
Right, cause I mean,
I would say starting in the spring.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
But if we're not sanding and plowing, what are we doing? I mean, they're not always sanding and plowing.
No,
right, but you're not
never-
doing road maintenance.
No, it doesn't
Right.
have to be
But
road
I don't know what
maintenance.
else,
Right.
what else do they do?
Well, we know they, like it currently says, we have to, fix the plow on this truck, and we have to, we're
bowl
doing
do maintenance on
proactive
these
maintenance
other
on that truck, and just what's the plan?
Okay.
Clean
Can
it
we,
up for
alright,
ice storms.
I guess we don't necessarily need to wait till spring, but we also threw him into the fire. Can we give him
Yeah.
a month to get his
Yeah.
wings?
Yeah.
No.
And so in about a month, can we try to start doing that 2-week plan?
And again, if we get a bunch of snow and storms, we're not gonna hold your feet to the fire to get everything completed if you were out.
Right. If you
70
put
hours a week
If you put
plowing
something
it.
on the plan and it didn't get done, we can go, we got 3 feet of snow on Monday, Tuesday, so we understand. But, so in a month, we can start to look for that. Sound good? Sound good up here?
Yep.
Yep.
I would say 2 months.
Is there
Any-
a specific date as opposed to just a month, so that he knows for,
Well, our meetings are 2 weeks apart, so 2
Right.
meetings from now.
and that date is?
Blind shot.
February.
Can't see it.
17th?
February
17th, I believe.
So that he knows.
Yeah.
He- you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
manage
February
your
17th.
expectations for what a month looks
Yep.
like for you guys, so.
Yep.
Anything from the hallway?
T2 is still planning on doing an asphalt presentation tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
In the chick room, right?
the chick room.
Yes, chick room. So I just wanted to make sure that,
It's
that
on my
was
calendar.
brought up.
Sadly, I don't think I'm gonna, I might be able to make it, I don't know.
But, I've seen the presentation before and it's really good.
Yep.
I mean, it's definitely, they touch on a lot of things that are very helpful.
Thank you. Dave, you good? Alright.
So 5 PM Wednesday, tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
Yes.
in the chick room in the library, okay.
Signature items.
Adam, will you have second public comment?
If you'd like, Donna.
So only limited to 2
Just,
minutes.
can we get through the signature
Oh,
items so I
sure.
don't
I
get
just
one
said
then
no.
I'll-
She didn't want you to adjourn.
And if I said no?
When-
He said no.
Pilots, my friend.
Linda, when is the last day to submit warrant articles?
The 3rd of February.
Okay.
Oh,
And when do you
Yeah,
need,
this is that pilot.
I'm sure Kate will tell me tomorrow, or
Will
Roy will
you?
tell me on Tuesday.
Oh, yes, sorry.
When do you need
I mean, I can ask one of them
ABC
too, but
report? Not until after.
I didn't see that one in there.
Friday
I've
after
done
the
it.
budget hearing.
keep my hands off it.
Okay.
She's not getting paid, so it doesn't
Thursday,
really matter.
Thursday.
I get I get
Well, that's for
I think
regular.
this is just the
ones.
only
Cover
thing, yeah,
the
okay,
budget
only
one.
signature on.
I'm gonna do a printout.
Oh, the snowball dance. Yes.
So, lady, this
Top
one.
of that one, my friend.
This one, Linda,
right?
will
Yeah.
Jordan be in here to give me a check before Saturday?
So we know where we're at,
Do you know? Yeah.
cause I don't know what's coming.
Holy curse, this month's going.
This
do you know
is
what's coming?
DJ for this Saturday.
He's still driving around in, hearse?
He's got a Volkswagen van.
He had hearse for
He
a
did,
while.
he has Herbie too.
Yeah.
He moved to a VW microbus. Alright, so we don't sign this,
This one, I love this.
we don't sign the
Yes,
little.
yes, we do. We'll take that back.
Oh, did I?
Confusing.
Yeah.
That's my bad, sorry.
Leading the way.
I know. I didn't see a little tab on it. I get all excited. Just chalk it up to my incompetence.
That's for you, but it goes with that.
We have no Doug tomorrow night either,
No Doug tomorrow?
just the three of you. And I first set up my first Zoom meeting and I sent you the invite, ignore that please. I did, I've never done it, and so I went in there today and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, I did this, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna send it to all of you and you're gonna be here.
Already.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, that was dumb.
$2.47.
$2. I gotta go with it.
Oh,
I want my $2.
$1,000
Love that.
well, I'm assuming because Tim sent an email to him asking if it was okay, and I couldn't hear anything
I'm not
back, so
gonna
I
put
set
this
it up,
back
I
on.
can't.
Yeah, it makes it really hard to sign.
I gotta do
It's on the back.
these things, they're in my head.
That's it?
Things
Yeah.
gotta get done.
Just was overkill on that one. Now, hopefully I can get it from there. There. I think I can. I think I'm kind of like WebEx. I did it for the court.
That's what I'm taking it.
Speaking of tomorrow, the filing window opens for a week and a half to run for all the town offices. Tomorrow through Friday, the 30th, and town hall is normally closed on Fridays, but will be open from 3 to 5 p.m. to accept people's, what do you call it?
Declaration of
Candidate forum?
candidacy.
There we go, declaration of candidacy.
All right, Donna, you're up.
Okay, Donna Bagel, I have one comment and two questions. And the comment is, thank you all for your focused, diligent work on this budget. Hats off. My first request is I respectfully would ask you to consider encouraging people at this meeting out in the hallway to come in so Madison TV can see, and the people who've taken time out of their lives to come to this meeting can hear and see the person speaking. I think that's a reasonable request. And my second request is, years ago, the town warrant used to have a different format with employees. They used to have the title, the salary, the health care, the FICA, et cetera, all in one line. Not naming an employee, just naming the position. People found that very, very helpful. And I would ask the board to consider that format once again.
What was it, in the
That was
town
in there.
report?
No, in the town report.
Oh, when it
not
also
in
had the
when you
columns for
open
the
it up,
FICA.
You can refer to past.
Yeah.
In there, in
You
a
can
format that
refer
was
to-
approved by Cordell.
Yeah, I think it's already in the back, that each employee, what they make and all that
I think-
broken down.
I think the current format was approved by town
By
council.
the town,
Because you
I'm
can't.
pretty sure there's in the back.
The insurance stuff is personal, then that wasn't supposed to be published.
Well, I'm not asking you to do anything
No, but I think it's
illegal.
there
I'm
now.
just asking you to consider something very user friendly.
Let us know what you think is missing, how about that? Do you wanna compare current to prior and let us know?
Well, I think Linda knows what I'm talking about.
Right, but we
I
have,
don't
we
know.
aren't supposed to be
I
sharing
do.
certain health insurance information and things like that.
It's not, it's a position.
But how
It
many
is-
town administrators are there?
Exactly.
I
Or-
mean, that's
Head
crazy.
librarian, or DPW director, or rec director, there's only so many, you know who it is. And you're giving away certain personal information, that's why the format that's
That's
in there.
not personal information, that's public information, it's part of the
The
budget.
money is public information, absolutely.
We
but
could
you're
put a
talking-
check that you make, that you get you take insurance, but you cannot put how much, cause then you can tell if they have a single plan, a family plan, or a
Well, that
two-person
would be
plan, and
okay
that's
too.
not.
That would be
But
okay.
that's why we're in the format that we have, to not divulge certain personal information.
If it's just the health health
I'm not,
insurance
that's just what I'm
consideration,
picking on.
we could just put single plan, family plan.
You can't do that.
Or you can just, no, you can just say, check mark, they take health insurance.
Right.
Oh,
Empty
okay.
box.
Because
they
if
don't
you
take
give
it.
the figure, then you can deduce what they have, and you're not allowed to say what they have.
Okay, so you can just
It's
put
the
a check
insurance
mark.
piece.
I don't think that
Salaries.
anyone needs to know if they take health insurance.
I don't think so.
I think
No,
that
and
would stay
I
out
think
of it.
most people are more interested in
The salary.
the
The
position
salary
and what
with
the
the-
salary
Yeah.
is, as
Yeah.
opposed to the FICA and all that other, FICA,
Yep.
health insurance, all that other stuff, I think, Adam, I think you're right, that's nobody's
Right,
business.
it isn't.
That you could put down at the bottom one big number of this is what the town pays for health insurance.
It's in the
Which is,
budget.
it's absurd.
And it even says in the budget that covers 12 people, and if you figure it out, you can figure out who the full-time people are, and, I mean, it's,
Can you say that
it's
again?
there
though?
anyway.
Personal stuff, yeah.
Me,
Yeah.
say it again.
Say,
That
you
he
said
was
you thought
right.
I was right.
It's a one-time deal, buddy.
You get one a year.
You're in here, and I open public comment, so I'll ask.
No, I was just saying, I heard someone comment about people out in the hallway. The supervisors are having a meeting for another 10 minutes, so if anybody needs to register to vote.
Sweet.
There we go.
Thank you, Cheryl.
We need to vote, register.
One hour meeting.
All right. I am gonna make a motion to enter non-public session per RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, little c. Matters which, if discussed in public, would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of the public body itself, unless such person requests an open meeting. This exemption shall extend to any application for assistance or tax abatement or waiver of a fee, fine, or other levy if based on inability to pay or poverty of the applicant. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jim, roll call.
McCoy.
Joy, I.